the Prismatic Dragonfly Tavern, side edition. Yes. Immune systems continue to delay everyone getting together, so we are going to actually switch it up a little bit this week and not play D&D, but do a system that is new-ish to us in varying degrees. Me as a keeper, particularly. So we're gonna see how this goes. But so we are playing Monster of the Week, and the adventure is Dream Away the Time. So the way that this starts is we actually get to do some character creation stuff for you on camera, because some of the players will maybe have stuff to do before we officially get into the episode. So we'll go around, have everyone introduce yourself, and what generally people in your group would know about you. And then we will assign our history ties and then get into it. So have you start, Joe.
Okay. I am playing Clark Eisenbreen. He has a penchant for wearing kind of loud collared shirts and khakis. Has long dark hair and piercing, kind of really pale blue eyes that are very engaging. So even just glancing around a room, folks that catch his gaze really feel like he's sort of focusing on them, whether or not he is. He is a spell slinger, so he comes from a background that has actually opened up magic to him, and he really thinks that that's sort of the pinnacle of everything. He loves having the magic that he does. And because he has gifts, he's got a little bit of a Spider-Man syndrome in that with this great power comes great responsibility sort of thing. He knows that there are things out there that go bump in the night. So he tries to protect people and have a good time while he's doing it.
All right. So I'm going to play Lydia tonight. She is a small girl, very wild hair, bushy. It's hard to see her eyes, but if you do get a peek at them, they're fairly dark circles under her eyes, like she doesn't sleep a whole lot. She tends to have fits of rage and is a little bit sort of impulsive in certain ways, mostly because she has small hallucinations as time kind of goes on. She's a spooky archetype, if you didn't already get that. And she's basically just here. This is all she knows.
All right.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm playing Ellie, who is the party's initiate. The initiate is somebody who is already part of a monster hunting sect of some variety. So Ellie grew up kind of in a weird wizard cult. The original founder's been gone for a few generations, and now it's kind of factionalized among all his different successors, and no one really agreed who's actually in charge anymore. So they're a little bit behind the times, to the point she isn't even issued a gun. She's running around with like an axe and a crossbow. But, growing up in a weird wizard cult also means that she knows magic, not quite as much as our spell slinger here, but is a pretty effective, melee mage and can get weird supernatural information. So she's a woman, very fit, has been training to do this job, since she was, 6 or 7. And really just mismatched clothing. It's, kind of very modern stuff, but when she's actually on a hunt, she's got, gauntlets and a breastplate on underneath her jacket.
I like to imagine, and hear me out,
Mm-hmm.
spends, Saturday morning, wakes up at, 6 a.m., puts on some leggings, goes for a jog in the park, does some yoga, comes back, puts on hauberk, and, just goes and, duels all afternoon.
I mean, skipping ahead just a tiny bit, one of the history options I have is literally just, I know you from, a historical martial arts club.
The terror of the local SCA.
It's really, you really got some, hot girl meets SCA vibe. That's what I'm picking up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I will be playing Mr. Daniel Daniels, the team's flake. Kind of a shorter guy, we stand a short king kind of energy. But if you catch a look at his eyes, They are absolutely wild. Like, they don't ever sit still. They're just flicking constantly, left, right, up, down, every possible corner you can imagine, as if slightly paranoid that something is coming for Mr. Daniel Daniels. He often shows up in, either like kind of very casual, comfortable clothes, like, like Silicon Valley gray hoodie and like jeans and like that one same black t-shirt. Or, when it gets a little cold, he does have an old surplus army jacket he'll pull over it. But yeah, otherwise kind of short hair, starting to thin, but, hard to say exactly how old he is. He could be 20, he could be like 200. He's just a little too crazy to tell.
He's just a little guy.
Yeah, he's just a little guy.
I like how 3 out of the 4 of you have some eye thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie, do you have an eye thing that you just want to get in on the group with?
No.
All right.
I'm the one who's running around, looks perfectly normal until I put the breastplate on.
So now we're going to figure out how we all know each other. So Ellie, since we are all somehow connected to your cult, we'll have you start with the history, and then we will go to Ryan and in a circle to assign other ties.
All right. Well, like I was saying, the group is mostly focused around magic stuff and is kind of splintered into like 6 different subgroups that all hate each other to varying degrees. So, let's see. I feel like Clark has probably got some kind of a connection here, even if just getting knowledge. So, want to be an ex-member of the group?
Yeah, that'll actually work with what I was gonna throw at you as well. So yeah.
All right. In that case, why did you leave or get thrown out, and why?
When things started to faction and separate, and the group started sort of breaking into cliques, my family essentially tried to just step out of it.
Gotcha.
And I have a tight tie to my family. That's where I actually get my magic. So I don't mind the cult. I just haven't had a lot of experience with it. And essentially, I only went as far as like Cub Scouts with it before it was time to step out. So I haven't been fully initiated into it and all of that,
Right.
although I was supposed to be.
Gotcha. You were originally going to be one of my fellow hunters.
Yes.
Somehow ended up there anyway.
Okay. I want to say Lydia is probably described in the prophecies somewhere being the party spooky and everything.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense to me too. She's just, so the way that I picture her, she's just kind of, she showed up one day and she never left. She's just part of this sect now. So
Yeah, so it's like you've been described in the prophecies, but the prophecies aren't clear what you're supposed to do, just that you are important for some reason.
right, yeah.
The statistician in the look, there's pretty good odds that this is the one.
And then, Daniel, do you want to be in the group or just adjacent to it? Because I've got a couple options that could fit.
I think he has, at this point, ended up into it very begrudgingly.
Okay. I'm going to say that we met under my cover identity and then you found out and got pulled in later.
Yep. Makes sense.
This is cool.
How do you feel about this?
I feel... I don't know that I quite have the word to articulate this, but I do have the action that will articulate it, which is...
Thought I made a new friend, and now I'm getting dragged out to fight monsters on Saturday nights.
I was just looking for startup funding, and now here we are.
All right, I think that'd be all of mine then.
I've seen things, I can't unsee them, and here we are. I've got to do something about it. Didn't want to be here.
This is way deeper than you thought.
Yep. I'm like, well, this rabbit hole keeps going out.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
A lot of commitment here. I'm really... Whew.
Well, yeah.
All right, so Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
how are you connected to everyone?
Okay. So I'm gonna just start over here with Clark.
All right.
I'm gonna go with we are a close relative, but I'm gonna have you decide exactly what.
Okay. All
There
right.
you go, layers of flavor here.
How are you related to the Daniels line?
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, how are we related to the Daniels? And
We're part of the Clarks, which is an offshoot of.
okay, actually, what might work with what we've already established
Mm-hmm.
is you and I are essentially cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And when the family stepped out, they want to get us back in as an asset, and they have managed to pull you in
Yep.
with whatever it is that you're going to bring. They're still just trying to scout me. They know that I'm sort of ambivalent,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also now I have a family member in the guild or the cult
Yeah.
as well.
Which like we definitely had like a weird like it's like Christmas maybe or like family reunion where I'm like pull you into a side room and I'm like, "Psst, hey man, I learned about all this magic things like dog, we gotta talk about this."
Where have you been? Who you been hanging out with, dude?
Well, I met this girl named Ellie. Her name wasn't Ellie, but turns out her name's Ellie. And like, there's a prophecy. Man, there's so many layers here. It goes too deep.
Like, call your dad. You're in a cult.
Shit. All right.
Does that work?
I think that absolutely works.
Okay. Cousin Dan.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then for Lydia, you're somehow tied into all this, and I've been keeping an eye on you.
That's right. Who is this small child and why is she here?
Is a thing that I have 100% vocalized.
And you know, part of it was like Ellie going, "No, keep an eye on her.
Yep. And I'm like, why do we have a small child? Why is she terrifying?
It's important."
Okay. All right.
And sometimes maybe when you don't want to go out and monster hunt, you see everybody getting out the halberds and heavy crossbows and everything. You know what I could do?
Mhm.
Is babysit.
I'll go to watch a small.
We could get some GameCube going.
Yeah. You like the Switch? I got a Switch. I got 2 Switches. We could just go and play some Mario Kart.
Please don't beat me.
We'll play Mario Kart in the van. I'll
that
play
kind of Switch.
Mario Kart rules.
It's not that kind of Switch. It better not be that kind of Switch, Cousin Dan.
No. It's a Nintendo Switch. And I just like pull it out of my bag. We'll hang out in the surveillance van. We'll be surveilling.
Technically, the Switch has not come out yet.
My bad.
We're 2015.
Yeah.
Oh, we're pre-Switch.
Ah.
We may as well be throwing stones.
We have a
The
3DS.
Wii U. Stupid Wii U.
I don't know what you're calling me, but I don't like your tone.
All right. And what else we got?
All right. I think you and I went through hell together. Perhaps a monster, maybe military service, maybe some time at an institution. Whatever it was, it bound us together, and we now have total trust in one another.
I think this is how you got dragged into shit because you were probably like just trying to be friendly, and it's like, "Hey, I'm busy. I've got some shit to deal with." And it's like you think, "Oh no, maybe she needs a friend because
Yeah.
I'm not being very clear about what's going
Yeah,
on."
let me help.
And then you just kind of follow me and show up and like, "Oh, there's a horrible flesh beast in this warehouse and it's trying to kill us both."
Oh, this is bad. I regret this. I have made decisions.
Congratulations, that's how you got your membership card.
You were at a Ren fair. You were like, oh, her shit is obviously like she's going through an awkward breakup here. And it was like, no, there's actual monsters at this Ren fair.
Like,
Is
when
that real blood?
Not mine.
It's just all over.
It's not mine.
that does not make it better. That in fact makes it worse.
Hadn't
Why is
gotten
the
there
child covered in blood too?
Honestly, at this point, I assume you just enjoy it. It's a little bit like a pig wallow.
All right. Any further questions you need?
I mean, those are my 3.
Okay. Clark.
All righty, let's see what we have. I think for Ellie, what sort of makes sense with what we're establishing is an old rivalry has turned into a tight friendship. So sort of the push of my family leaving
Kind of
and
created a
trying to
grudge.
Yeah, and then when we met on rough ground,
Mhm.
either you have seen what I can do, I can see what your skill set is. We see how we can apply it, and we sort of in a tight spot, similar to the flesh beast in the warehouse, sort of developed an understanding that we're not you at least not all of the cult is as idiotic as my parents have sort of told me to try to shoo me away, and you have come to some conclusion that I'm not as awful as, you know.
You're not a horrible traitor.
Yeah. So I think that might work for what we've started to establish, if that works for you.
Yeah.
So basically just the rivalry turned into a tight friendship
Mm-hmm.
based on actually getting to know each other through the family divide with the cult. Ooh. Some of these are so wrong for this group. I know they're trying to make them.
Yeah, you get a lot of options.
All right, so I'm going to say maybe part of the recruiting attempt. I'm going to write these down. Since cousin Dan is in the clique now too, is actually sort of when they bring me in to at this point I'm going to say I'm sort of a consultant or freelance. I'm not fully back in yet because they want the family. The family wants nothing to do with them. I sort of have to do it sort of without telling the family. So part of what they've done now that they've got cousin Dan in there and they know that we have a family tie is we have done some operations, surveillance, whatever, together. And because we're family and because they keep teaming us up together, that we've sort of become comrade in arms. And we have faced the biggest threats together, or so it says. So you and I basically have gone through crap that we don't like together, and we're family, and we're doing this monster hunting thing together. So you and I are tight now.
Yep.
All right. And that's Dan.
And the spooky little girl.
Yeah, I don't know. There's one I'm going to veto. They're an on-again, off-again love interest.
Yeah. I'm like, yes, as a little girl, I am married.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Not that kind of cult. Not that kind of cult.
Nope.
Yeah.
We're in a better version of 2015.
Oh. This one would be funny, but I don't know what you're conceptualizing as your character. Mentor from another life, and I'm thinking literally.
Oh, that's great. No, that'll tie really well.
Will it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. I have
Do a Dax symbiote kind of thing with it.
So ask them what they taught you. So you're a mentor. Essentially, you have at least the vibe of either having the spirit or somehow being reincarnated. And it's a bond. Something has happened that makes me utterly believe that either the essence of this person or the rebirth spirit of this person is in you. But what is it that you taught me?
In the past life, no, I'm not going to say that.
Are we back on the love interest?
The power of
TM, Huey Lewis in the news.
No, really, draining the power of love out of the universe. Amazing returns on your magic.
I will say that I taught you how to fish. I maybe am the ghost of your father.
Okay. Okay.
That's better. That's better.
Or at the very minimum, convincingly channeled him at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. So we have a bond that Lydia isn't necessarily a mentor to me now because Lydia is clearly a child dealing with a lot of other stuff. But I have a bond and a respect for Lydia because of the resonance I feel from a mentor, like from a father figure of mine.
Yeah, and
in the spooky little girl.
More than likely was, a decently high-level member of the wizard cult if it was like, nope, screw all you, we're leaving right now,
I was like, I read the love interest. I'm like, oh.
No, not the little girl.
Yeah.
No.
surprised. Clark is actually 11.
Oh God.
All right, Lydia, what about you?
Okay, so I'll start over here. I would say that our tie. Yeah, I would say we're old friends and we just trust each other. Like, you've been around most of my life at this weird place.
Okay.
So I just trust you implicitly.
There's that tie that makes it like we're older friends than it could possibly be because of your age.
Yeah. And then I will say over here. I would say that I came here in the hopes that you could help me control my powers.
Okay.
Yeah. And then oh no, Dan. I will say you actually taught me to control my powers a little bit, as much as I can.
That feels right.
Just chill.
Yo, man.
This is not how we behave in public.
Lydia, no, you can't eat the garbage off the street. No, let's go get you some Starbucks.
Did you
Oh.
caffeinate the small child?
I caffeinated the small child and she calmed down.
So are your powers just ADHD?
Feels right.
Yeah.
Multi-lane navigation.
All right. Wonderful. So before we jump in, does anyone have pre-episode stuff they get to do?
The beginning of each mystery, roll charm on a 10. I can try to get help from the higher powers in the sect.
Fantastic.
So,
Oh, I also.
unfortunately, charm is my bad stat.
So you might need it then.
Ellie's cult hasn't really taught her to be a people person.
I'm shocked.
I don't see.
Yeah, it's
anything
actually not.
showing
That's a
that.
miss.
Right.
So on a miss, the sect asks you to do something bad. If you fail a mission or refuse an order, you are in trouble with the sect until you atone.
So you're on great
Just
terms.
going well.
Yeah.
So
already.
they've given me a questionable order is what that result comes down to.
Man, they want you to murk the girl, don't they?
Actually, yes.
Damn it, Ryan.
No, not the girl. A girl.
Ah.
Not this girl.
Yeah,
A
she's
different girl that
important.
we are currently unaffiliated with.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
We don't care about other little girls.
No.
Just Lydia.
I've got one as well. It's connect the dots.
Okay.
So I roll plus sharp, and that is going to be a 10 plus 2, so 12. On a 10 plus, hold 3. I can spend my hold during the mystery to ask the keeper one of the following questions. Is this person connected to current events? Or is this person connected to current events more than they are saying? When and where will the next critical event occur? What does the monster want from this person? Is this connected to the previous mysteries we have investigated? And how does this mystery connect to the bigger picture?
All right.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Blake is totally intuitive.
That is their whole jam.
Yeah, they're very much the red string and corkboard type.
All right.
I don't think that comes from moves, right?
Yeah, if
Yep.
you have anything that triggers start of session, it'll be in a move you picked.
Nope. Okay, just making sure.
All right. So, as you have been searching about for your next adventure from wherever you left off, you are doing the natural thing of perusing digital newspapers because it's 2015 and who actually has proper newspapers if you're not my mother. And some things have started to pop up around the town of Handfast, which is in the lovely state of Maryland. There has been very unusual weather. We are at essentially midsummer, and there has been a heat wave followed by a tornado, followed by flooding. Nothing that you would actually expect in this area. This is not, especially not tornado area. There's also been a series of attacks on about 4 people who were out alone at night, and they've been beaten and suffered a single cut. But they don't remember anything about like their attacker or what otherwise has happened. It's been happening over about the past week or so. And additionally, in like the fun personal news stories where they're trying to fill in for their page count, There's also been people talking about how suddenly they have food spoiling overnight, or like their knives are being blunted, or objects are being thrown about, and appliances are just suddenly failing. And no one really knows kind of what's going on. Many theories abound. So, having put together that this seems supernatural in nature, you have all traveled to Handfast. You've gotten there. It's about 10 or so in the morning. It's generally it's known as a very nice farming town, and has also become very popular with tourists. It has an old history that they've kind of started playing up, so you can do like little colonial tours and whatnot about. It's not leaf peeping season, but it's also not leaf peeping area. But you know, it has a very pretty. And it's generally like a nice little town square, a couple of shops, restaurants, and then residential, and then you get out into a bunch of fabulous wheat fields. So overall, quaint, cute, slightly disaster-ridden now, but adorable place. So where would you all begin in this town?
First,
Well, we've got to be in the unmarked van.
I get two.
Park outside the Starbucks, where I am getting the spooky child, the largest, like a Trente Frappuccino with like a triple shot of espresso in it.
for visualization, how old does the child seem?
I would say like 10 or 11.
Okay.
Very dark hair, very bushy. It's hard to see her face most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, just because I'm going to bring this up. While they're in the Starbucks, I'm just going to be, hey, Ellie? Ellie?
Yes.
Lydia, does she have caretakers and stuff where I'm not going to say being kept, where she's staying?
Of course, she's valuable. Everyone's looking out for her.
Okay. Did they pack for her, or did she bring her own stuff?
They tried to pack for her, though Lydia can be a little willful sometimes, so...
I just like
So
beeping on my headset. And I'm just like, and it's like a weird like Bluetooth headset that like stopped existing in 2016.
Mhm.
But I just like push on it and I'm like, I packed for her, man. Like it's fine.
okay.
Do you look?
I'm just-
No, look in the back of the van. Look in the back seat.
Yeah.
You see that? You see that like pink backpack?
Yeah.
It's got the My Little Pony on it.
Okay.
That's got all of her stuff.
Cool. So what's in the rifle cases?
What do you think is in the rifle cases?
Well, I know they're not Ellie's.
Yeah, man, I got to listen. It came from the cult, all right? They were just like, you're going to need these. I didn't open the boxes. I just said, all right, man, and put them in the van.
Okay. I don't think there is.
I would
Okay.
as this is happening, and like the attention is not on me. I want to try to use Jinx to target like a drink that's sitting on the counter, so I can just knock it onto the barista.
Okay, roll for
See, now your hands are full.
roll to use magic. So
You stated your kind of
Roll
Plus
plus weird.
Yeah, is it a D6?
2d6.
2D6. Okay.
Bell curve.
How do I perceive this?
Something
We're gonna see
terrible
if it
happens, and then you look at the little girl.
And then I had +2 weird. Okay. Heck.
Basically, if you get a 7 or better, you can accomplish what you're trying to do, and if you do it with a 10 or higher, there's usually no complication.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's go with.
Okay, where is Act All Crazy? What is this move?
That might be one of your personal moves if it's not on the main sheet.
Okay, there we go.
I'm looking. It's tied into this one.
So 13. So it says. Just go. Nope, wrong. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. That thing has given you nothing but fits tonight, unfortunately. So
Yeah. So when I jinx the target, I roll that. So I got a 12 on a 10 plus, hold 2, and on a 7 through 9, hold 1. On a miss, the keeper holds 2 over you to be used in the same way. And then I can spend my hold to interfere with a hunter, help a hunter, interfere with a monster or a minion, inflict harm on a target due to an accident. The target finds something you left for them, or the target loses something that you will soon find.
Okay. So I get 2 hold on you, and then you get to decide how this goes down.
Okay.
If I understood that correctly.
Yes.
Okay. So what of your options, because that was extremely successessful, how would you like this to go
Which of
down?
those you're
as
going to
you
fire?
I'm going to go with inflict 1 harm on the target due to an accident. Because the coffee is hot and it's sitting on top and she did not balance it well.
cappuccino machine explodes.
I think you get 2 hold, actually, so...
Okay. And then I will say that... Does it have to be the same?
No, it could be 2 different things.
Okay. And then I'm going to say that I know that you have like a pocket watch that you keep in your pocket, but you won't let me look at it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you lose it, so I will soon find it.
All right. That pocket watch
You get to be the
very
hero.
quietly goes sliding down under the rim of the counter into your line of sight as a large latte that was, all nicely poured in a 4-here cup flings at poor Eli, which you can see on the name tag. And he's just coated in hot espresso and milk, and he just starts like trying to wipe off, and he's like, oh shoot, but it's too busy, I can't. So
I can't curse in front of this child.
I can't curse in front of the child.
I've not
can't-
broken eye contact with this man as he's doing it.
I can't like step away and change for a second because we have customers. So he comes back to the counter, soaking wet, slightly steamy. Like, hi, can I help you? And like glances nervously at Lydia.
Still staring.
Yeah, can I get I'm gonna get just a small black coffee and a Trente mocha chip frappuccino with 4 shots of espresso.
Okay. I can do that.
Double-digit pumps of caramel.
So he rings you up and gets to work on that. But
I swipe my debit card because it's 2015.
yes.
Sir, what are you doing, sir?
So yeah, he gets to work on the drinks. There are some other people in line waiting. This is like a combo, like Starbucks and then like kind of a diner attached to it. You know, nice, like a gas station setup, but nicer, classy. So there's, people having, finishing up breakfast, that kind of stuff.
It's a Starbucks. They're doing Starbucks things.
Yeah, they're doing Starbucks things and diner things. So, generally busy, lovely atmosphere.
So we go sit down and I look at you and I'm like, did you spill coffee on that nice man?
No.
I am going to invoke the move Suspicious Mind. If someone lies to me, I know it.
We're learning about each other. This is great.
Are you lying to me?
I'm going to use telepathy to whisper in your head, yes.
What have I told you about? You can't just... That's not how we behave in public. Young lady, that's not how we behave in public. I get it. It's very funny. But, like, he's a nice guy.
He's still steaming.
I know. He's just... Listen, he's getting you your coffee, and by you soaking him with hot, steaming coffee, you've slowed down getting your coffee.
I'm okay with that.
I don't know how to help you.
As he calls, 2 drinks for Dan. Clark and Ellie, what are you two up to at this time?
Mostly just trying to look for where to start now that we're in town, because it seems like the happenings are kind of just everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What in particular what signs would you be looking for to say this is where we should start?
In this case, mostly just looking at timelines of like, okay, so was there a recent change? Was there potentially something that triggered this? Was there anything that, was going on in like the few days to a week before this all started that might have been something arriving or getting woken up?
Well,
Okay.
there's some really weird conditions happening with this. Like, do we know what knives dulling means?
Mm-hmm.
Food spoiling quickly? I mean, does that tie to anything that you've got books on?
I mean, normally that would be a pissed off Fae of some kind, but the weather's a little bit more extreme.
Yeah, I don't dig on tornadoes.
Is there some particular way you're going about trying to figure this information out?
I mean, since we're really just looking for a starting point at this point, it's probably just lots of like looking at recent news articles and Googling and that kind of thing, and just, is there anything that jumps out at me as being particularly weird before all of this started?
I'm gonna hop out and walk up and down the sidewalk since it's 2015, and I'm gonna look for one of those display racks or newspaper machines that maybe has the local like Daily Nickel or handfast news and review kind of thing.
Yeah. So
And
as
head back to the van, I guess, with it.
okay, so maybe you two have gone into the Starbucks / diner
Mhm.
at your own table to be a little bit separate from the craziness, and you're scrolling through, looking through the news articles again. You are able to find like the Daily Herald, free copies out. And as you're flipping through it, you see kind of a sensationalized op-ed place that is like, 4 attacks happened in last 8 days. Next one is due today. Will someone else be attacked? Who knows? That is the gist of the story.
Well, they've got a timer on it, apparently.
They've been happening at regular intervals. That's interesting. It's not the most common behavior.
Do we know? We should find out if the attacks are happening in town or like in parks or in the rural areas around town. Because if there's a pattern there, we're wasting our time in town if it's happening in fields and parks, sort of thing, or vice versa. So, yeah, I'm gonna go meet some people, and that'll be the next step of the investigation. I'll just start talking to people about the attacks that have been going on, and just see what people say. Where did they happen? Did they know the people? That sort of thing, and just have a coffee and just shoot the shit with some locals.
Would that be investigating a mystery?
Probably.
I think it would be. So yes, roll.
Investigating a
sharp.
mystery. 2d6 and sharp. That would be a total of 10.
All right, so you get 2 questions.
All right, investigating a mystery. Oh, it doesn't scroll down. Okay. So, what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? Boy, that's vague.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to stick with. Is there a pattern to where the attacks have been happening? We'll do that for the first one.
There. So as you start talking to the bartender, or the barista, because he is tending a coffee bar. Because things have started to calm down, and you can kind of assume that maybe your group has to do with why he is suddenly stopping wet.
Yeah.
and singed.
Eli's off his game a little bit, so maybe he'll.
Yeah. So as you start talking to him, he's like, yeah, they are really weird. Like, we haven't had anything like this happen. Like, usually, I don't know, usually you know the source. But, I don't know, it's just like random people. Some of them have been, walking through the neighborhood. One was out in the forest. Another was, I don't know, they're just about and they just end up beat up. Like, they're all beat up. And then they have, like, a cut on their arm. But it's not even, like, the same arm or the same part of the arm. It's just, it's not like it's a sign of something. Like, I don't know, weird gang activity, which we don't have. This isn't Baltimore. But,
Wow.
But yeah, it's really strange, but I think they're all still technically in the hospital. Like, they're not terribly beat up, but I mean,
It's
there's
only been a couple days, so.
yeah, like they're hurt. And also I think the police are trying to keep them there to like make sure it's all safe. Everyone's a little bit like weirded out because this kind of stuff does not happen here.
Oh yeah, seems like it's totally shaking up the community. So. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Eli.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to see if I can extrapolate from him telling me where some of these attacks have taken place, if there's a direction of movement. So where did it go?
So as you
If it's sort of forming either a radius like it's coming out of somewhere, or if the attacks are moving in a certain direction based on where the attacks are.
yeah, so as you
If I may,
Mhm.
I would like to spend one of my holds for when and where will the next critical event occur to feed him this information.
So, as you're looking at it, it's not a fantastic pattern. It's rather scattered.
Mm-hmm.
But the first one did start in the forest, another was a little bit more centrally in town, and then the other two have been a little bit more in neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you're piecing this together, you would say it's going to happen in the suburbs if there's going to be one.
Okay.
And when?
Tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm like shuffling through some newspapers, like the newspapers you left on the table.
Yeah.
I just like reach behind, grab them, and I'm like, oh. Just shut the papers, put them down.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And then we just sort of piece our information back together there. So
Yep.
we should definitely. It looks like whatever it was came out of the rural, came out of the woods or came out of the fields, and it looks like it's prowling around on the streets now.
Yep.
But looks like we'll have some time then, so if it's not appearing until after dark, then
Mm-hmm.
well, we have most of the day to figure out what to do about it.
I think perhaps we ought to go talk to the folks in the hospital, see if we can drop in during visitors' hours.
I don't like the hospital.
You two check the hospital. Lydia, you're going to come with me. I want to look at one of these attack sites.
Okay. Well, there might be ghosts there too.
Yes, that's what the silver knife's for.
Okay.
I just like, okay, but you got your coffee, like you got your knife in your boot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You got your bulletproof vest on.
Yeah.
You
I
know
also have my hunting rifle and my shotgun in the car.
Good. I don't know that those are going to help you with ghosts.
Could I stick a knife in my shotgun and shoot the ghosts?
That would not be a good idea now.
What
You
about
could
silver
stick a knife
bullets?
under the shotgun.
Like a bayonet?
Like a bayonet. There you go.
Okay.
Scamp, and I like ruffle your hair.
Well, assuming it's around, it doesn't sound like we'll see it until dark anyway, so let's see what we can find out and decide what the preparations are from there.
Okay, yeah, they don't like it when I carry my gun around the city, so
No,
I'll
most
leave
people
that in the car.
don't. They're not terribly fond of my axe either.
No, we're not. We're not carrying weapons around in broad daylight. That's why you've got knife in boot.
okay, fine.
All right. Are we all in agreement then?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Good.
All right.
I'll drop you two off at the hospital, and then we'll head on to the most recent attack location.
Yep, and I think we'll want to be, and I like pull up a map of this town. What is the name of this suburb?
This isn't a big enough town that there are like names to the suburbs,
Mm-hmm.
but it's to the northwest.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen at 1365 Windermere Street, and I like circle that.
That's
I send you a screenshot of the pin on Google Maps because this is 2015 and we do have smartphones. But
You
there's
sent a
still-
screenshot of the pin?
Correct.
yes.
It's still too dumb to send an actual pin because it's 2015.
Even for you, this is a little specific.
Listen, man. This is just what the pattern shows. Like, look, it just you see how so it starts in the forest and it just kind of zigs and zags, and it's like next one it's gonna be right over here, and like I don't know, there's just something about that feels right.
Well, it's a bit of a leap, but we'll be back to pick you up in a few hours.
Okay, sounds good.
Don't get arrested. That'll slow us down.
You're coming with me. Tell that. Tell that to this one. Tell that to the little one.
I just go where I'm told.
Yes,
Well, here's the
and then
problem.
you
We're
do
going into the
crime.
hospital, so it's not like we can take the gun.
What crime?
You can't just assault baristas.
The next
So
time he
barista.
looks away from me, I'm going to go to where I know that watch is supposed to have like fallen, and I'm like sneaking it into my pocket.
It's like, all right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then we'll go fill up the van because gas is only $2.36 because it's 2015.
Only $2.36. I remember my mom getting mad about more than $1.
oh, nostalgia. All right. So let's start with our hospital duo. So the local hospital here is a little bit grander than a clinic. So you get in and you go towards where people would generally be kept.
Perhaps the ICU.
Not that intense.
Oh, just
General, like the general surgical. Yeah, we're gonna
yeah,
have that.
yeah, general recovery ward. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ariva's just like, oh my god.
yeah.
But as you get in, you do have a nurse stop you and be like, "Excuse me, are you here to see someone specifically? How can I help you?"
I'm gonna start like freaking out, just like immediately start having tears and like kind of just like, listen, ma'am, we just heard that our cousin, she's in one of the hospitals. She was just attacked. I'm using the move often overlooked, which says when you act all crazy to avoid something, roll plus weird. What I'm avoiding is her kicking us out of this hospital.
Okay. Roll.
Because hysterics are the perfect way to.
Listen, it says I gotta act all crazy.
I know.
5, 6, 7, 8. Plus 1 is 9. Dang it. So on a 7 plus 9, or 7 through 9, pick one. Unthreatening or unimportant. I'm
What'd
gonna
you do?
go with we are unimportant.
Okay. She's like, right, you're okay. Yeah, we've had that happen quite a bit. Go on ahead. And she will let you pass.
In we go. Well, so I gotta make all these moves count.
So,
I'm just gonna. It's gonna be the or Loki in the elevator type thing. It's like we walk around the corner. I'm just like,
Hey man, it worked, didn't it?
it works. It works. It's embarrassing, but it works.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
So you know that the four people who were attacked, their names are Alice, Christopher, Constance, and Frank. So who do you like to start with? And that's the order in which they were attacked, too.
Let's start with the most recent.
Frank.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you know, asking around really quickly, people assuming that, yes, you are meant to be here. You are directed to Frank's room. He is a slightly older man, and he is reclined nicely on his pillows. You can tell that he has tried to present himself as properly as possible, despite the fact that he has like a black eye, bunch of like bruising on everything visible, and his left forearm is just like wrapped up and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you police, reporters, or are you lost?
Oh, we're reporters. I'm with Rooters. We've heard about some strange attacks in town. We're just doing a story to cover it. You know, kind of really branching into our local news. You know, because it's 2015 and like print media is dying, so we're really trying to expand our web presence, and like part of that is just kind of local stories. You know.
Well, I applaud you for being so innovative. How may I be of assistance with my tale?
I mean, you can start. Well, what happened? What happened?
Yeah, we want to hear what happened, Frank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We want the story that you want to tell people. What happened?
So I was out walking my miniature poodle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it was
Some miniature poodles named Fred and Frank.
This is not a Frank. This is a Franklin.
like, unfortunately, my parents did not name me Franklin. They missed an opportunity. It is Frank.
But my middle name is Lynn.
So I was out with Puddles, and we were going for our evening stroll.
Mm-hmm.
And we hadn't gotten very far. It was, you know, only 2 blocks or so from my house. It was very surprising when I heard a noise behind me, assuming it was, you know, a child or a cat or whatever. Because let me tell you, my neighbors, the Tillies, they have a very horrible, large cat that they just do not keep in the house. It gets everywhere. It's ruined my petunias so many times. So I figured it was this little monster. But I turned around and then, I don't know. It just, next thing I know, I'm on the ground. My arm's bleeding. I have like a bunch of broken ribs. And Puddles has wandered off. He has been found. I am glad to say.
Mm-hmm.
But just like I completely blacked out, and yet none of my injuries were so severe as to warrant me just losing consciousness. And I am very sharp, let me tell you. So I do not generally do that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I am saying is I think it was a bunch of, you know, the college students are back.
Mm.
And the media is very harmful with what they're putting out. So I think I was drugged
Mm-hmm.
for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
They beat me up for some sort of a horrible prank. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what happened.
Now it is 2015, and they weren't wearing clown masks.
I don't know. I can't remember their faces.
Because we've got some strange reports from other places, you know, in these United States.
So it happened that fast. You just turned around, and that's the last thing you remember.
Well, some time had passed. I didn't have my watch on me. It was a mistake. So I'm not sure exactly how long, but there's
as
some
far as
time
the
that's
attack
unaccounted for.
goes, as far as the attack went, as far as you can tell, it happened that fast.
Yes.
And you were out for a walk.
Yes,
Were you on the sidewalk?
I was.
You sure you didn't have 1 or 2 Chardonnays end up in the street? Maybe get hit by a car there, Frank?
Absolutely not. That's what happens after the walk.
That's very wise.
Mhm.
Not to be out and about having down several glasses of Chardonnay.
Yes.
And it definitely wasn't blood loss because you said you had a cut on your arm.
Yeah, it is rather long. It bled quite profusely, but no, not enough that would have accounted for it.
And does it look like a scrape or a scratch or anything, or can we see it?
Um,
I'm asking you, not Frank.
yeah.
Is it bandaged up enough that we can't see it, or is it just being treated and it's...
It is bandaged up enough that you can't see it, but he can tell you that it does look more like a scratch.
Okay.
Very superficial.
Actually rather deep.
Oh.
He's like, I mean, I would almost go so far as to say it was that horrendous cat who got me, but it is only one cut.
You would imagine at least 4.
I would have, and it still would have been very severe. So I don't think I can
Tough
blame the
cat to
cat.
break that many ribs too. So
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
I know it's a little monster, but it would have to be quite a big monster to break all those ribs.
do you have anything missing? You said you didn't have your watch. Do you have your watch, or is it missing?
Oh, I left it at home. It is accounted for. Nothing was missing. No money was stolen, so at least, that's something.
Mm-hmm.
So I at least wasn't robbed. I have that dignity.
It's true. These youths corrupted by their video game.
Mm-hmm.
An argument that we're currently having in the year 2015.
Oh boy. All right. Well, if you can think of anything else,
You keep
Right.
specifying the year. Why do you keep specifying the year?
Wait, it's 2015?
Dan's putting the tots together for where this country's going.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, one final question. Do you think perhaps this might be linked to the rise of far right nationalism in the United States in this day and age, in this year 2015?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right. Never mind. Thank you for your time.
The year of our Lord, 2015.
Ugh.
If
Yeah,
you want to
don't
talk to
worry.
the other people, we will pause for a second and we will go to our investigation of the most recent attack 2 blocks from Frank's house.
Okay. So, what kind of place are we dealing with here? I know you mentioned a sidewalk, and imagine we're in a neighborhood, but what's the general layout here?
So it is like your very typical small town, nice neighborhood. This is the old middle class neighborhood. It is lovely plank houses, large overgrown trees creating an avenue, hedges, all that good stuff. And it's set out generally in blocks, but because this is a town that was set up well before full urban development planning, there are some wonky streets that just kind of meander places, or they don't fully line up properly. All that.
Okay. And we said we got here at 10. What day of the week is it? How busy is this neighborhood right now?
It is a Friday. And it's not terribly busy. So, decently quiet. People are clearly at work, but you do see parents out with their small school-age non-school age children. The retired community, those sorts of things. Kind of out and about a bit.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is just see if I can find a place to park the van that's not terribly conspicuous for a minute, but has line of sight to the attack. And I have an ability called That Old Black Magic, which lets me use magic to ask a single question to investigate a mystery instead of rolling to investigate like normal.
Okay. So what would you like to know?
So I'll have to roll it first. It's okay, Linnea, just... I know there are other kids. We need to focus right now. We're going to do a little magic, all right?
And this, the year 2015. Yeah.
And that is going to be a 12. So it definitely cast successfully. And what I'm trying to do is what happened here. So what I'm thinking I'm doing is it's like creating a vision of what happened and what was left behind when the attack occurred a couple days ago, and kind of projecting it on the inside of the windshield of the van. So like we could see it as if it were happening right now, but nobody who can just is looking out on the street can see it.
Interesting. Okay.
Like just kind of like wispy smoke images, kind of.
Yep.
Can I use the sight to see if I can see any spirits or magical influences in the area?
Yes.
Cool. That is just a move. So
Yeah, you just do that.
Yeah, I just do that. I don't have to roll.
Okay. You do get the sense that there is a general magical presence in this town. How much detail do you get? Or does
You may communicate, maybe even make deals with spirits you see, and they give you more opportunities to spot clues when you investigate a mystery.
So if there's a spirit nearby, she can talk to it.
Okay. You there isn't a spirit nearby, but you do get the sense that there is a magical aura over this town that seems to be unstable and maybe waning.
Okay. So there's no ghosts here, so that's good. But there's like a magical net over the city. I don't know.
What about it?
It's there. It's just there. I don't know why it's there. That's not normal. It seems to be kind of fading.
Fading?
Yeah, there's like some rough patches in the net.
Maybe a ward or a protection ritual of some kind. Interesting. And then Ellie will go ahead and like, all right, let's see if we can find out what happened here, and do her spell work and project the image inside the windshield.
Yeah, so as you do that, you get like the windshield goes dark, then darker than it was tinted, but you get the essence that like, okay, this is night. You see a slightly older man dressed a little too nicely for like a casual Wednesday stroll with his overly groomed toy poodle, walking around. And as he gets about halfway into your windshield, you see a large ogre-like creature come barreling over some of the hedges. The man turns around, starts to scream just as a monstrous fist pummels into the side of his face. You watch as he's beaten up a bit, and then the ogre takes out a knife, cuts the man's arm, and as it begins to profusely bleed, takes its hat and rubs it in the blood, and then puts it back on and continues on its way, just leaving
I
him
want a
dead.
blood hat.
Not socially appropriate, unfortunately.
How come?
When you get blood on you, you have to clean it up.
Why?
Because it scares people.
But like a blood hat wouldn't scare people. That's clothes.
The blood is the part that scares them.
How come he gets a blood hat?
Because that's a monster. We're going to kill him.
Oh, I don't want to be killed. Okay.
And yeah, I'm like, it's definitely Faye, isn't it?
So I would say with what you generally know, this is a red cap.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was assuming.
Yeah. So.
I hate being right.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys would like to do as you are investigating this scene?
I guess the forest, right? Like where, like the area where the other people were attacked, maybe.
That could be a thought. When you sense this web, you think you could tell about where the middle of it is?
Could I?
It actually seemed like a pretty even distribution, almost like a dome.
Okay.
Just trying to see like what the origination point of said dome would be.
I don't think it would. That part was as clear.
That's fine.
I would say probably in the center of the city. It seems like it extends pretty far out.
Mm.
That would make sense too. They're all getting attacked at the edge of the town.
Getting closer, yes.
Yeah.
Why don't we go through a drive-through downtown, see if you can sense anything close when we're closer.
Okay.
All right. So as you are headed downtown, what's going on at the hospital?
Let's go check with one of the victims who was attacked downtown.
Okay. You're the people person.
Sure. Why did they? Well, none of us really
And
are
Dan, the
that
people man.
personable.
I wanted to, it just didn't work out.
All right. So the person who was attacked downtown is Christopher Prowler.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a couple rooms down. He's actually not alone. The sheriff of the town is in there, seeming to like be reviewing his statements, his official statements with him when you walk in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, friends of.
We're reporters from Reuters. We're working on expanding our our internet presence here in the year 2015 as print media is dying. And we heard about these kind of attacks, and it was just we're really trying to develop kind of like a local network. Where we talk more about local stories. So we're just trying to get the just talk to people and just kind of see what's going on, Sheriff.
Oh, I'm Officer Turner. Yeah, of the village police force.
I will pretend to write that down.
Okay.
I will write that down.
I mean, I don't know why this would be of interest. It's probably just some, youths acting up, like pranks that are going too far. But I mean, interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that the current theory, Officer Turner?
I mean, that's what I would assume. There doesn't seem to really be a pattern here. It's pretty.
Does it just seem like you've got new people moving into the area?
Has anybody reported anything with clown masks? We've heard there's a weird thing going on the West Coast with clowns. I was wondering if that might be related.
No, the carnival's not due for a while.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So
as far as the narrative of what's going on, as far as the police department is concerned, what is it you want people to know and understand about what's going on?
I mean, it's that there's probably nothing too bad going on. Like, obviously, people have been harmed, Christopher. We are taking this seriously. Don't worry. But, maybe right now, just be a little extra vigilant if you're going out at night. Stay home if you can. Maybe, go with a buddy if needed. But we're gonna find out what's going on. We're gonna take care of it, and it's gonna be okay.
I'm going to connect some of these dots.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend one of my holds to ask, is this person, the sheriff, connected to current events more than they are saying?
No. He is so clueless.
Great.
He truly assumes, like, this is just, there are some weird things going on here, and who knows?
Mm-hmm. Now, Sheriff, let me ask you. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
When I get the chance, yeah.
Can you believe they let Jon Snow die?
I know. It is the worst.
It's an absolutely wild event that happened in this year.
While my cousin Dan over narrates, would this count as a bad
Dan.
situation that I could read? We're looking at the beat up wounded guy. We're looking at the sheriff who clearly
Doesn't know what he's doing.
I would not say this is a bad situation, but if you would like to investigate a mystery more, you could do that.
Well, that's just going to get us more questions, and I don't know that we specifically know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll roll and see what happens. So, that was noisy. 11. So, on a 10 plus, hold 2. All right, so Sheriff, can we get some details just so we make sure we get them straight and we don't, we don't report anything that hasn't been vetted or anything, being media and whatnot. We want to make sure we have the details right and we're not putting out anything to unnecessarily scare or cause fear, because that would be a terrible thing for the media to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Irresponsible. But what do you know about the one common denominator seems to be some kind of physical scuffle, but everybody has like a single wound. Do you think that wound was made by a knife or as part of the scuffle, or do you think that maybe it was intended to be a fatal attack and it wasn't? It just didn't go far enough. Do you have any thoughts on the single wound?
Yeah, so what we are gathering is that this is a pretty random series of attacks. I mean, I guess organized enough because of the one cut, but like it still doesn't make any sense. But everyone was out at night on a very routine basis, a common chore. No one was going into dangerous situations or anything.
Just taking out bins, strolling, walking a dog.
Yeah. It was dark and
Maskless.
people just kind of black out, and when they wake up, or or if they were found and woken up, they were beaten and they had it does look like a cut, like maybe a knife or something on their arm, but it doesn't seem as though it was intended to be fatal. It was not to that degree of an injury.
Does it seem like the same thing, or does it look like it's just sort of that everybody has a single, more serious wound?
Yes, like everyone has a single, more serious wound. So it is interesting. I'm hoping that, we've seen the last. Maybe the kids who are doing this are realizing that maybe it's just a little too much. So we'll see. But I mean, I understand there's like a pool going at the local bar to see if something happens again tonight. But we are going to be on patrol to make sure that it does not happen. The people are safe in Hamfest.
All right, so we're going to look for some details on that with what is it going to do, which is information we obviously don't have, but where is the police department going to be active? I'm going to try to fish that out. Like, you're ramping up patrols. Are there areas of interest that you're particularly focusing on? Are there parts of town that you think are more safe than others? And I'm going to try to fish out of him where they're going to be, just so we know.
They are going to be more around the city center.
Pulls up map of donut shops.
Yeah.
There's only one in town. But we figure if, especially being a weekend, probably our culprits are going to be downtown. That's where things are most likely to happen. So that's what we're thinking.
Nope, that totally makes sense.
It's totally wrong, but it totally makes sense.
It's definitely the goose. Just running around committing bludgeonings and cuttings.
We don't have we appreciate your input and your candor, Sheriff. If you can think of anything else, we've left our cards with the nurse at the nursing station. Please get in contact with us if there's anything we can help you get out or disseminate or help keep the peace and prevent fear and panic, because that's what the press should be doing. We would be happy to help.
Thank you. It's much appreciated. And likewise, feel free to call our office if anything comes to your attention. But I'm sure we have this under control.
Oh, absolutely. We will definitely be cooperating with local law enforcement.
So is this a hunting town, Sheriff? What are the rules on transporting long guns?
In an unmarked van.
Yeah.
This is a vaguely rural town.
With a child.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah. All right.
Listen, it's the
We need to
child's
get
card.
cards. We keep forgetting to get take cards.
I know. I think I just like reach into my pocket and I'm like, I pull one out and I'm like, you didn't get cards, dude?
No, we were supposed to do that together. Did you do without me?
Yeah, man. I ordered these online. Yeah, now with the internet now. The internet these days, you just go online to like businesscard.com.
Yeah, but now I'm gonna need one of those so we can be from the same organization and stuff. We were supposed to coordinate.
No, here. Just write your number on the back.
Because it's 2015.
Yeah.
I'll take just 3 of his stack of cards.
Okay.
So, fake business cards for the media. Okay, sweet.
So as you are wrapping that up, Ellie and Lydia are driving to the city center.
Yeah, and particularly you mentioned that this was like, an old historical community, so in the city center I'm really looking for like the old part of town, because it's like my suspicion here, especially after what Lydia found out about some kind of a failing magical thing going on, is there was probably some kind of ward here, and I'm just trying to see, it's like, what are we dealing with? What was being kept out,
Yeah, so as you go downtown and whatnot, you do run into like the old colonial square that's all red brick.
Mm-hmm.
But actually that is maybe, as you would say, a little bit off center from the center. And what's actually in town is a really lovely sprawling community park.
Mm-hmm.
With, nice grassy knolls, a couple of statues of historical importance, but mainly the children's park is the prominent feature here. It is like the dream jungle gym of every child's fantasy. There's a tall, like, wooden castle with lots of ropes and things to climb on and jump off of and slides and all that good stuff. And, even now, about midday, there's a good number of, kids and parents here playing. And it's a very active area.
I'm keeping my eyes peeled for ghosts. Any sort of like specter apparition.
Well, we can't take the car through a park, so why don't we get out and take a walk around? No one's going to think twice about the two of us going out for a walk, right?
Yes, you definitely look like my mommy.
Babysitter, obviously.
Okay.
All right. Lydia, as you get out, if you'd like, I would say you could read a bad situation.
How does that work?
You roll plus sharp.
Plus sharp. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're gonna keep these in the middle.
Yeah, I made copies.
So
I'm just trying to get my head around the mechanics for holding, putting things forward. And I don't have a device that I can
+1, so 9.
poke at, and I don't want to keep fiddling with my phone.
I think that means you get to ask one question off of the read a situation chart there.
Yep.
Gives you the results, and then these are suggestions.
Okay. Are there any dangers that we haven't noticed?
As you're
Funny you should ask.
So as you are kind of scanning around looking for ghosts, you don't see a ghost. But up in one of the trees, a little bit off, you see a girl, a bit older than you, in just a very different kind of style of dress. You would say she's like dressed like a fairy princess or something like that. She has flowers in her hair and she's just sitting watching everyone, feet swinging from, on her bow. And she's just, eyeing everyone. And it just doesn't seem right.
There's a really pretty princess lady in that tree over there.
Princess
Right there. But I don't think she's a ghost.
I don't think so either. I think this is a problem.
Can do you want me to talk to her? I can do it from here.
One second. And I just go back in the van and just very, very carefully like tuck my axe up under the back of my coat.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, I'm not going into this unarmed if there's potentially some Fey weirdness happening in the park right now.
All right. Sounds like a plan. So are you going up and talking to her?
I'm going to like try to stay as far away as I can while using my telepathy, but side eyeing her so she knows it's me.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, in her head, "Are you here to play or something else?"
She like snaps and looks at you, not maliciously. And you just kind of hear a giggle in your head. She's like, "I'm here to play."
Would I enjoy this game?
I mean, I think it has a great ending.
Does it end with people being sliced open on the arm and a blood hat?
No, not my game, no.
Then whose game ends with the blood hat?
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you here to play? Are you from the town?
I'm not from here.
Well, neither am I. But it's a nice place. I think you'll like it.
I will resist the urge. Okay. Maybe you want to come down and talk to me and my friend?
I think maybe you and I just talk, girl to girl. Like, she's an adult. It's different,
How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
I don't know, a little bit older than me.
Yeah. Yeah, that is right.
You know, it's kind of weird to just sit in a tree.
Why, you don't like climbing trees?
No. No.
Okay. I'll come down.
Do I look like I like climbing trees? Do you think I can see the tree very well?
No, you might want to consider like a barrette or something to keep your hair out of your eyes.
What is a barrette? What?
My goodness. And she just like jumps down out of the tree and lands rather nimbly.
Are you a gymnast?
Yeah. Oh, practicing.
That's pretty cool.
My friends are usually better, but she comes over and she actually talks to you properly. So, you have a name?
Do I have a name?
Okay.
Everybody has a name.
All right.
What's your name?
Violet, what about yours?
Lydia.
Good to meet you, Lydia. Solid name. So what brings you here?
Well, I have guns and there were bad people, so they sent us out here. And a blood hat.
That's how you're gonna explain it, huh?
How would you explain it?
Have you entered the scene?
Oh yeah, no, she wasn't staying behind. She was just getting her axe and coming.
That is always a matter of perspective.
I'd say some of those perspectives are gonna result in a few things getting gutted pretty soon if this is what keeps happening.
Well, I'm sure that's very important. But anyway, I think I have other places to be. So good to see you. And she's going to start walking off. Unless especially you, Ellie, seem like you want to do something.
So, one of the things I can do with magic is trap a specific person, minion, or monster.
Okay.
And that's an 11. So, magic works without issues. Choose an effect. The effect is traps a person, minion, or monster. She can't leave.
All right. She goes to take a step and snap back into place.
That's pretty cool. Do you think you can teach me that?
Later. I don't think we're quite done asking questions yet, Violet.
Well, I'm interested. What's going on?
Well, for one thing, this town seems to have a redcap problem, and you seem like the sort of person who knows what that means.
Redcap like the blood hats?
That would be the redcap, yes.
She won't tell me about the blood hats.
I think we've given her a little bit more incentive to speak.
I mean, yes, there is one. But like, he's really not doing anything bad. So,
I was told you're not supposed to just beat people up.
I mean, it could be worse. But honestly,
I mean, putting 4 people in the hospital is the kind of thing that draws attention. That's why we're here.
well, the town should have done what it was supposed to do, before, before we had to show up. So,
And you would know what the town was supposed to do?
yes,
Can I read her thoughts?
can you?
Telepathy, you can read
Oh,
people's
yeah.
thoughts and put words in their mind.
Oh.
Yeah, and you don't have to roll for that. You just get to do it.
Yeah, just as that's her thing.
You hear in like kind of a sing-song voice, like, break a contract, get beat.
Break a contract, get beat.
So, you want to enlighten us on just what this broken deal is?
Not particularly, no.
I mean, that could go pretty unfortunately for a lot of people, humans and fae.
Question, how long does trapping a monster here last?
Basically at this point until I choose to release or they do something to escape, because it was a 12 with no complications.
Well, I think really that is for you to find out and me to just, do what I need to do. She's going to reach into her pocket and pull out a pinch of dust and blow it at you,
Pocket sand.
causing you to what is it? Oh no, nope, that is a different thing. She does not do that.
Okay.
She pulls out her dagger,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to try and hit you.
I'm gonna pull out my
mean-
my boot dagger.
It's a +1 harm. So like she does it. She just swipes you with a
Stabs you.
dagger.
And that's fine. I have an axe.
If you don't have armor, that negates this. Do you have an armor bonus?
If I'm wearing the breastplate, but I don't think I was at this point in the investigation just yet, because that stands out a little too much.
Cool. You begin to fall into an enchanted slumber.
Okay. I don't like that. That's not good. I would like to. I would like to try to jinx her.
In what way?
So for this, I want to. Yeah, I want to try to inflict 1 harm on a target due to
Actually-
an accident.
Actually, one thing I forgot. It has to do harm for that to work, right?
Yeah.
I'm spending a point of luck. It does no damage.
All right, she is stuck. All right, so you.
Well, yeah, as soon as I see pocket sand, that's the first thing I do.
Well, it's
It's a
actually
knife.
It's a knife,
dagger
yeah.
came out. Yeah. We had to switch from pocket sand to.
to dagger
Just
sand.
dabbed Ellie.
Oh.
But it's just a scratch.
Okay. So you roll to do harm.
Yeah, so I need to do for this to work. So this is just one of the jinx things, so I just have to roll
Plus weird. I think.
plus my weird, yeah. Six
Um.
Oh,
did not go well.
no.
Yeah.
Is there something specific with Jinx? Oh,
Yeah.
I
I
know it's
need.
bad one. My magic doesn't go.
You do get an experience point, though.
Yeah, on a miss, the keeper holds 2 over you to be used in the same way.
So she's inflicted bad luck on herself that you get to use that list for.
Yep. Already.
So the Fae basically grabs your magic and holds it.
Mhm.
That feels right.
Wow, yeah, that does feel right. Trying to jinx a Fae. Yeah. Bold move. Bold move.
Bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I see this isn't really going anywhere. How about this? You let me go, and I'll make sure there's not an attack tonight.
And exactly on what sort of authority can we trust that's going to happen?
My lord's authority.
Your lord being?
You should already know.
I have suspicions, but some confirmation would be nice.
How about you tell me your suspicions first?
I feel like she does, but I'm blanking on Fae names right now.
Oberon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the name you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Lord of Fairy. You know, you don't
Quite.
want to mess with him.
Mm-hmm. Well, you should best be on your way then. Let me help you hurry along. And I'm going to attempt to banish her.
Okay. What are the terms and conditions of banish?
Oh, it's just
I wanted that.
one of the things of use magic is banish a spirit, curse, or person, object from the person, object, or place it currently inhabits. So I'm basically just sending her back for now. Like, it's not a permanent thing; it's a quick spell.
Okay.
Just, just another demonstration of okay, yes, I understand. Goodbye.
Gotcha.
And that one is a 9. So I have to pick a glitch. And I will say the glitch is... I'm still going to take that 1 harm I would have gotten from the dagger because it bleeds my energy a little bit.
Okay. Sounds good. So she kind of pops out of this location.
That was cool. Did you do that? Or did she...
That was me.
Can you teach me that too?
It's on the list.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, you guys kind of wrap up with Violet at the park. She now not being there. You have done your investigations of the hospital. So we will say that with time you are able to get back together to compare notes, perhaps back at your favorite coffee shop.
So how's the hospital?
Well,
Wasn't a lot.
wasn't a whole lot. Turns out the local police are about as incompetent as you'd expect.
And the victims didn't really get a chance to actually witness much.
Well, we
The
got to see
cut
what they
does
did.
look more like some kind of scratch or claw.
It's
Doesn't
the Blood Boys.
There's a red cap running around.
in town?
Yes. And we found another Fae in the park.
Oh yeah, I have a new friend.
Oh,
No, you did not.
I made a new friend.
No, you didn't talk to it, did you?
Yeah.
We interrogated her.
But it's not a friend, right?
I mean, I didn't hear half of the conversation.
Oh God, you didn't promise anything, did you?
I don't think so.
Did you make any deals in exchange for?
I'm gonna
I
use.
don't think so.
Well, I made a
Listen,
deal, but it
I'm-
was because I trapped her.
I'm gonna use my move, Suspicious Mind. Are you lying to me?
No.
I don't trust this child.
To the best of the juvenile's recollection, apparently not.
Good. Good.
Her name is Violet.
Uh huh.
She was really nice.
She works directly for. She claims to work for Oberon.
That feels like a lie.
She said that's not her name,
It's definitely not her name.
but she's my friend.
No.
Why are you sure that's not the name?
Have you ever looked?
I
You
don't.
ever dealt with Faye? You ever heard anything about Faye? They are lying constantly.
Well, no, I know that, but
Violet might be like her sixth name. You know what I mean? Like
okay.
a name, but not her name, but like a name that can refer to her, but not directly.
Okay.
Well, we have some suspicions, at least. She more or less confirmed that there was a contract made here at some point in the past that's been violated, and that's what the source of the incident is.
Oh, yep. Well, she didn't happen to give you any details on what that broken covenant is it?
No, she just said break a contract, get
Get beat. you
get
said?
beat. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow, that is very, very fundamental. You don't happen to know if there's any Welsh descendants in town?
Hadn't looked into it. What I can say is she claimed that if I let her go, she would prevent an attack from happening tonight. I let her go by banishing her, but she still got to go back home.
I don't know if she'll count that as letting her go. That's
Yeah.
throwing her out.
Yeah,
And they're big on technicalities.
extremely technical.
Mhm.
This is a small town with a apparently long history because it's got an old town center. Wonder if we should poke around it. All of these towns have like little local history museums and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and see if there's
Some sort
anything
of
that sticks out.
colonialist tour, yes.
To the
There's going to
colonial
be some
tour.
old house that somebody lives in that has pictures of everybody. That all of the streets are named after. All of these little towns are like that. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe something sticks out if we poke around there. I don't know. I don't know where else to go other than we have to find that culprit the red cap attacking somebody, and that's going to be a bug hunt.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that'll be messy.
Well, it seems like it's going in, right?
Yep, it's moving closer and closer to the center of town, but it's
Wonder
still...
why so slowly.
I don't think it can get through. I think like whatever's protecting this town has been slowly failing.
Oh,
What,
it might
the
be as
broken
the town
contract.
gets...
What's protecting the town?
There's like a
We haven't-
dome thing. It's kind of like not so good at the edges.
Some kind of ward, more likely. If Violet was telling us the truth, it's likely the result of whatever contract they made. If they violated the contract, it's fading.
Okay, but are the attacks inside the bubble of that ward?
Some of them are now. It was above us when we were checking out where the most recent one, Frank, was.
Actually, all of them were.
Okay, so it's on the inside. Do you think the ward is keeping it out or keeping it in?
Well, the ward, they didn't start until the ward began to fail, it sounds like. So
I think it's been here a long time.
it could just be that things have been slipping in, and the red cap was one of them.
Mhm.
So we've seen more than one Fae of very different dispositions.
Okay,
Mm.
so we know it's going to attack at night. Do we want to poke around at local museums and dig through local history? Or do we want to...
Well, as I go to pat for my pocket watch and find that it is missing,
Or do we want to gear up and rest up?
Dan, it's 2015. Check your phone. You don't need a watch.
I check my,
Your flip phone.
no, I check my Google Pixel 2, which is the latest flagship phone in 2015 from Google.
Of course you know that and or looked it up.
Oh, he's got a list of 2015 facts there. I'm certain it's on his screen.
Actually, no, I think it's just the Google Pixel 1. My bad. But I pull up my phone and I check the clock and it's,
What time is it?
yeah.
All right. At this point, it's about 3 in the afternoon.
Well, we've got time because the attack's not going to be till after nightfall, and it's still pre-leaf peeping season. So,
What's leaf peeping season?
well, so when it turns to autumn and all the leaves turn different colors?
Mm-hmm.
Well, leaf peeping is this thing that's starting to become popular on the internet in this year 2015, where you go and just look at the differently colored leaves.
That sounds really boring.
I cannot explain it, but the leaves haven't started changing color yet, so we still got plenty of time before nightfall.
I
Yeah, it's
mean,
actually
Violet
late
really liked
June.
the tree leaves.
What?
It's a midsummer, late June.
Oh no, not midsummer.
Yeah, it is midsummer.
Oh no.
Nan, sometimes you just start talking, and I know all the words are English, but they don't string together into anything meaningful.
I can't help it if you cannot keep up. But we gotta go check out the spooky old colonist museum.
I don't want to go somewhere spooky. I don't want to see ghosts.
It's all right. It seems to be Fae here, not ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll get you some coffee later.
All right. Will I get to play with Violet later?
We'll see when she comes back.
Oh, I hope not.
You never let me make friends.
I have brought you. We signed you up for Girl Scouts back home.
You.
They were nice girls until you dropped a bucket of pig's blood on them. No, you need to breathe. Fine.
You hear your head. I won't breathe. I'm gonna die.
Knock yourself out. See if I care.
Then I just start crying.
I just like pick you up, and I'm like, all right, it's fine. Come on, let's get in the van.
As we're driving. You're still a single dude, right, Dan?
Yeah.
Good. Good.
So, as you
Just like sobbing in the back. Like, never let me have any friends. Just not.
No, you can't make friends with supernatural monsters.
You know what? You deserve to sit in front while he sits in back. So I'm gonna we'll let her ride shotgun. We'll put Lydia in the front seat. My assumption is that Ellie's driving. That's what I've been picturing. But we'll let Ellie drive. We'll put Lydia in the front, and Dan and I will sit
Can't be
in the
safe.
back seat between Lydia and the long guns.
I gotta be near my long gun.
This can't be safe to let a child sit in
Here's
the front seat like that. She's not big enough. Are we getting?
I'm like trying to clean my child-sized shotgun in the front seat.
I mean, rural Maryland, that's a normal sight.
So as you are arriving in front of the local museum, I think this is the point where we will take a quick break, and then we will try and wrap up this mystery this evening. So
Okay.
we will be right back. So we are moving into the last half-ish of our mystery. So what we have gathered so far is there is a redcap running around harming people, and there is some contract with Faye that has been violated. So there are shenanigans going on. And our group of culty adventurers have rolled up to the local Handfast Historical Museum.
Hand fast.
Mm-hmm. The name of the town.
I also need to issue a correction. I don't have a Google Pixel. Those had not come out yet. I instead have a Nexus 6, which came out in late 2014, because it is, of course, the year 2015.
Mm-hmm. Just not letting the
And
bit die.
Absolutely not.
The
People at home are very angry. They have to be
viable
corrected.
historical accuracy of this one shot is vital. So utmost important.
Yeah. So, in this
Really?
museum, there is a tour that is about to take off on the town. There is also a section for, the open archives, and then closed archives is further on for researchers. And then you're also just allowed to freely wander around the museum if you don't want to be part of the tour. So, how would you all like to proceed?
I say we split up and look for clues, gang.
Suddenly a dog appears.
Jinkies, that sounds like a great idea.
What?
See, in this year, 1975.
You're really old.
Hey now.
I'm not that old.
You're like a million. When was 1975? That was like a million years ago. That was like 40 years ago. You're
Can
so
you even count
old.
to 40?
Yeah, I'm 11, stupid.
Out of character, I want to throw the child out of the van.
All right, so are we splitting up and looking for clues, or what are we doing?
I am looking for ghosts and dolls.
Okay.
Totally separate.
Perhaps in the doll.
Here we go on our haunted doll watch. I take my ward with me as we head into the museum, and I'm like, come on, let's just do this tour.
Okay.
But if we do the tour, are there going to be dolls?
This is the best way to find out.
Fine.
If there are dolls, they're going to show you on the tour.
Yeah.
Are you using your move to look for ghosts?
Yeah.
Okay. As you are getting signed up for the tour, which consists mainly of parents or grandparents and children significantly younger than yourself, you do see a ghost off in one of the corners, just like a older woman dressed definitely in clothes of the last century by your standards. And just kind of floating, seeming to look at one of the photos.
There's a ghost.
Well, do we want to go talk to it?
Does she look mean?
No.
Okay, I think she's really old, like you.
That's not helpful. We go over. We just kind of like let the tour wander by, like leave us behind, and we wander on over to this ghost. I just let her lead me to this ghost because
Hi,
I don't
ghost
think I
lady.
can see the ghost.
How old are you?
Oh, what a nice child.
I assure you, she's not a nice child.
All children are nice children.
You hear that? All children are nice children.
Yes, I heard it.
Except you're new here.
Anyway, ghost lady, those clothes look kind of old. Do you know when you were alive? When were you born?
Oh, back in 1872.
That's really old. She's older than you.
That's correct.
Okay,
By at least a century and a half.
I can't do that math right now. I'm trying to talk to a ghost.
I was born in 1989.
Why are you talking about a TV show from 1975? That's suspicious. I don't think I believe you. Anyway, nice ghost lady. Okay, so there's a lot of weird stuff going around, and we were trying to stop it. There's like a fairy girl. Her name's Violet. Do you know Violet?
No.
She works for someone named Oberon.
Yes.
Was there like, you might have been around, was there ever like a deal with some fairies? Because there's like that special nut.
Oberon protected the city and the town. This is a town. He helped make this place prosperous. But we had to give him a child. And he got my Thomas. But it was worth it for the town, I was told.
I'm sorry, that's awful.
Is there a way to break that deal?
I don't know. We never tried.
So do they like take kids every year, or is it just like they needed your kids specifically?
Every 40 years.
Oh. Okay. Every 40 years.
And Thomas was a wonderful little boy, so beloved. And he just happened to be in the wrong year.
So if the people here refuse to give up their kid, what would the fairies do?
We never wanted to find out.
Do you know anything about blood hats?
She just kind of ignores you.
Hold on one second.
And she is staring at a creepy old doll. I'm just saying.
That's a creepy old doll. Wonderful. Is this your doll? Did you make this? Did someone make this doll for you, or for like Thomas, or like where did this doll come from? It's very fun.
Yes, it was in the family.
Sorry, let me try asking this again. Are you familiar with the term hatewaid?
What?
Hatewaid. It's Welsh for blood hat.
He does not. No.
Listen, there's Faye. There's got to be Welsh people around here.
She is not one
could
of
be
them,
Irish.
at least.
It could be Irish. Hold on.
Wait, were there any Irish families around?
Oh, I'm sure there were some.
How about, are you familiar with the term hatafola?
I speak our national language here,
Which is
English.
okay.
Technically, we don't have an official language.
I would have figured by now we would have.
No.
No, not yet. Not in the year 2015.
She's really sad. I don't know if she's gonna give us any more, but I do like that doll. Can we steal it?
I don't think we can steal from the museum, but I can go buy you a doll.
Will it look like that doll?
I look at this doll.
It's really old. You'd have to go to like a niche toy store to get anything similar.
What I'm hearing is I can find it on Etsy.
Probably.
Actually,
In
even
2015.
in 2015.
And then-
Even better, I go check eBay for vintage dolls.
As you are doing that, Ellie and Clark, what are you up to?
All right. Mostly just looking through some of the archives right now. We know there's some sort of deal, so I'm assuming, without having other information just yet, that there's probably, if we start looking for like a recurring pattern, we might find something, or possibly see if we can find like the town charter or anything. I've got, all kinds of connections to weird wizard bullshit through my superiors, so it's like maybe there'll be a name that stands out as familiar or something in like the founding fathers or whatever.
Sounds like you would like to investigate a mystery.
Do we want to check the public archives and have one person check the research only off limits archives? Somebody's going to have to sneak in somewhere. There were 2 sections.
I can't read very well, so probably.
You're talking to a ghost.
I'm gonna look really out of place if somebody walks up and tries to ask me anything in the close it off section, so I'll stay out here.
Okay. I'll see what I can find.
Sure, but you're a visiting professor. It's fine.
And I'm obviously some variety of gym rat, so... That's gonna be a 9.
Okay. You
Listen,
can
I'll get
ask.
you a doll. I'll get you a copy of Taylor Swift's latest album.
I think I can see
And her poster.
One question.
That
Yeah.
album, coincidentally, 1989. Released in late 2014.
We're just gonna go for the oldie but a goodie. What's being concealed here, and just see if I can find some references out here that maybe the town like hasn't struck in from the record, but doesn't really want to call attention to in the rest of the museum.
So as you go through the newspaper articles,
Oh, we gotta hydrate.
thank you.
Thank you. We also got raided big time.
Hello.
Welcome,
Greetings.
raiders.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, and Vlad redeemed the hydrate anomaly. We're mixing it up here. So as you are going through the newspapers that go back to the early 1900s, you see that about every 40 years on Midsummer, there's a report of a child that goes missing. First at a midsummer festival, and then just generally on that day, as it seems like maybe that festival went out of style. But every 40 years, there is a child between the ages of 2 and 5 that disappears.
Interesting. And like, do we have any names or anything?
The names are all, it's like the popular names of each couple of decades. There's not a consistency. They're all different last names, different genders, and not even like a pattern of like boy, girl, boy, girl. It's just different.
An offering has to be made effectively.
That's what you would put together.
Okay. So that gives me another thread to tug on is...
As you were looking through that, you would see that in 1975, the 4-year-old girl who went missing is named
Violet. Lydia 2.0.
No, 0.2.
Yeah,
The
Violet.
way around.
Violet Chilton.
Oh, that's going to be a good thing to keep in mind, just in case.
Which also is the name that you were given by the cult to kill the little Chilton girl.
I'm suddenly feeling less bad about this assignment.
All right.
Yeah, while we cut over to see how things go in the closed off section, I think my next point from there is just start tugging on the thread of like, okay, what was this Midsummer Festival about? Was there any weird, particular, unique thing they were doing back in the day that might help explain the nature of the contract beyond a kid is involved?
As far as you can tell, it was more of just like a, you know, like a summer festival. But the details are scarce, but they weren't like, and then we sacrificed the child under the moon. Yeah, it's like this was a great festivity, and Mrs. Merriweather's Huckleberry Pies won the contest for the fifth year in the row. Those sorts of things.
Okay.
All right, you are sneaking into the research.
Yep. What do I need to do for that?
You could either. I think there is a staff member, a volunteer, who kind of enables entrance into this area. So I think you would be motivating someone, manipulating someone to letting you in without the proper pass.
Is there a way I can do it without interacting with people? Can I get to the door when nobody's watching?
I mean, you could probably use magic for it.
Mm-hmm.
You could also use magic. I could say if you really wanted to do like a stealth, you could act under pressure.
Observe another place or time. Lots of cool stuff you can do with magic. I was going to try to use my magic to bypass the lock. But if there's somebody watching that section or somebody in that section, then we're going to have to go for manipulation, I guess. I could banish her. Could summon a monster. She'd leave if that happened. I will. There isn't anything about using magic to charm. So, yeah, we're just going to have to do it the hard way, I think.
I mean, so magic does not have to be, I think, specifically stuck on that list. If you would like to charm someone, you can describe how your spell works, and you can roll to use magic on that.
Okay. Well, that's essentially what
there is an option that's just do something beyond human limitations.
Yeah, but I'm taking that more literally than I should, I guess. So, yeah, essentially I'm just going to walk up and start casual conversation while everything else is going on, and just sort of pour on what minimal personal charm this guy actually has, but pour the magic into basically just a wash of positive emotions so that I'm engaging them on, they're obviously into what they're doing if they're here. I'm making an assumption there, but if they're one of the local historians living or working in this house, engage them on how exciting it is and how I want to see all that there is here, and that, to bring light and attention and all of the real history, the history that isn't taught in the schools, and what makes Heartland America, what the real colonial roots of everything that happened here in Maryland, kind of thing, and just sort of get her excited about how excited I am about it, and just ask, then lead the conversation to, where is the real history? All of this stuff, these are the postcards and the calendars and the history books and the newspaper scraps, but where's the real history, the family histories and that sort of stuff, and push toward that.
I mean, yes, we do have quite a collection from some of the families who've been quite prominent in the area. They have been quite generous in donating their households to us, which we do have stored here. But I'm really not supposed to let you in if you don't have the proper pass. So you have to give her something about why she should let you in under this.
Okay, well, we'll get out one of those business cards.
Okay.
And we want to expose the real history, the families, that all of the streets and the parks are named after, all of the names that should be known by rural, red-blooded Americans, the roots of this country, and it's the history that isn't taught. And I'm going to get out the card and write a bogus phone number on the back. Like, this is my personal cell phone that comes straight to me. If you have any questions or any concerns or just want to talk, this is how you can reach me. But we need, in order to make a story engaging and to bring it to life for American readers, we need those real details, not the postcards or the letters that somebody sent to their grandfather. We want to know who owned the land, who moved. Why is Paulding Street named after the Paulding family? Was it on their land? Was it something that they did? We want to share that, and we're starting here with this huge project, and it could be an incredible boon to this community.
All right, roll with charm.
And just pouring positive energy into all of it. Plus, if it's charm, that's not good. Yeah, if it's
I think
not,
you have a similar stat line to mine.
yeah, if I don't get to use my weird, it's not going to happen at all. So, no, with charm, it's a 5.
Oops.
Yeah.
Sir, I take my job very seriously. I have been tasked with keeping these archives safe, and we can't just let anyone into this area. So I am going to have to ask you to to leave and come back when you have the proper documentation for this.
Absolutely. No, I understand. I applaud your diligence. Like I said, we just want to share this, but I'll see what I can get from the publisher, and have him. Who should he call? Get all the information. Like, who should my people call to get clear, and wrap it up with BS and then leave. Yeah.
Okay.
She'll walk out. They're cranky.
Gathered.
So I'm going to go outside into the van and try one other thing. It's not going to let me thumb through any of the books or whatnot, but I am going to use magic to observe another place. And what I'm going to do is sit in the van and cup my hands and have a bowl of ice form in my hands, and have it slowly fill with reflective water. And I'm going to use that to scry and look around that locked room.
Okay.
Like I said, I can't flip through books, but I can see if there's anything visible in there, like I got to look around it at least.
All right. So I think you need to roll to use magic.
Then that uses weird instead.
Yes.
We are much happier rolling weird.
7.
All right, so
8, but yeah.
You get to choose an effect, but then you choose a glitch.
All right, and I had that list.
Okay, but
here.
you did fail on a thing, so mark some experience.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll mark that in a minute. Hang on. Yeah, do a thing that's beyond human limits. So we're scrying.
Yeah, there's also
And-
straight up observe another place or time too.
Oh, yeah, that's the same list. So yeah, that's the effect that we're going for. I'm going to make this your problem. We're just going to say that somehow it has a problematic side effect, and I'm going to let you figure out what that is.
All right.
Because I think that will be more fun than I get freezer burn on my fingers and take a point of harm.
Yeah. So as you look into this room, you can see that there are a bunch of file folders and boxes and stuff. But more importantly, there is a woman, well, more of a teenager, running through holding the hand of a small child, probably about 3 years old, bright blonde curls. She's like, no, we're going to go this way. It's an adventure. It's really exciting. Don't worry. This is totally fine. We can do this. And she is kind of running through these boxes with him by the hand, headed out a back door.
This is happening now.
Yes.
Okay.
As you're wrapping this up and probably thinking I should be sharing this information, the bowl is actually stuck to your hands. And for probably the next 5 minutes, you cannot let go of this bowl.
Okay. Beautifully done.
Oh no, you're stuck in the van.
Yeah, you can't open doors with a bowl in your hand. Unless
Alright.
you can maybe like finagle the latch with the toe of your shoe or something.
I've got magic.
But you also can't use your hands.
That's okay. That is okay because I have advanced
You're a-
arcane training.
You're a wizard, Harry.
So what I need is my foci, gestures, and incantations. However, I'm okay with only 2 of the 3. So without the hands, I've got my foci, I've got my incantations. I'm going to telekinetically unlock the car door or open the car door. I'll just have ice build up behind the handle and push it out.
All right.
Oh yeah, 11.
All right. That is able to happen easy enough. You jump out of the van, you run in, you
Wait.
can shut the
Wait.
door behind you.
This is a stupid problem to be having. So I'm gonna get to the door and be like,
It is a.
pum, pum, pum. I just
I guess doors do open out. Thankfully, someone does open the door as
Well, I
you're
mean,
running
you
to it.
but I'm just trying to knock on the door.
She looks at you very confused.
The medical condition. It's a treatment for hypertension.
Okay.
Ellie, can I speak with you for a moment?
Yes, I think we should talk.
I think we walk out with you. Oh, I see you've got your bowl.
Yes, it's it's
Apparently, it's very
for
important.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's,
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
for your medical thing.
yes.
Outside, out front.
Mhm.
Step outside. There is a lady with a child in the locked room right this moment, taking the child out the back door, trying to hurry away from this building, probably because we're asking questions.
What'd she look like?
I don't think we got a description of the lady. It's a small, blonde, curly-haired child, and the lady
Okay. Teenager.
is it? Yeah.
Probably about 15 or
Teenager-ish.
so. Barefoot, brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing a flower crown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That
yeah.
might be my friend Violet.
Let's hope.
Wait, but no, she's supposed to play with me.
Violet's.
They're leaving now.
Okay,
let's
let's
go.
go.
Yep. We just run around to the backside of the building.
Be with you in a minute.
Yep. Well, yeah, because your medical condition.
And then I'm just trying to use my magic to undo my magic, and I gotta wait.
All right, so the other 3 of us go around the corner then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
My ice bowl. I'm like, yeah, trying to.
Trying to lick the edges.
That's just making it worse.
Well done, ma'am. That was beautiful.
Get tongue stuck to the middle.
Yeah, that's why I was like, no, shit. Okay,
This isn't working.
so
it's for my hypertentionitis.
Yes, that dreaded hypertentionitis.
So as you round the corner into the back street, you see now a woman who does not look like Violet. She's much more. She is dressed properly for this time period. She's got the nice, she probably does have a bumpet in her hair at the moment. Yeah, nice embroidered jeans and all that. And she's carrying the child that was described to you. And she's walking, fairly casually down the street, but like with purpose, but like coolly.
Hey, that's the child from the milk carton.
Into the little girl's head. I want to try. I want to be like, are you too? Be quiet. Are you two friends?
To the toddler.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are. She said we are.
Where are you going?
She told me somewhere exciting.
They're going somewhere exciting. What's your name?
Max.
Max. Do you belong to one of the really old families around here that have been here for a really, really long time?
I mean, mom and dad are old.
You're talking to a
That's
4-year-old.
true. All
Yeah.
the adults that I know are really old too.
I'm going to use magic to try and trap this 15-year-old.
Okay. Roll to use magic.
What are you doing?
Well, we're gonna find out real quick. Okay, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's a 9. So
One from each list. And
Yep.
how are you doing it?
So I'm gonna look down at this child, be like, I need my watch.
Well, watch.
You know which watch.
The one that's on your phone?
The one that I keep in my pocket that's gone missing.
I had nothing to do with that.
How many times do you take my things? It's like a daily occurrence. I know you took it.
I'll reach into my pocket like sullenly and just.
Thank you. So I like click the watch, like opens
He's
up.
not big on finders keepers.
It opens up, and then the inside, instead of actual numbers,
Should be grateful I
is a
found it.
bunch of different runes, and I just start like furiously turning the knobs while I'm like chanting until the hands line up on the like 2 that just mean stop,
Mhm.
and then just like finish chanting and close it, and then you see that a circle with the same like set of rune, stop rune, just like spring up around the foot of this 15-year-old, just like very, very faint glow.
Okay. So that's the effect.
That's my effect. My glitch. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say the magic draws. No, it has a problematic side effect. I'll let you figure out what that's like.
That went
We've
right,
established
great
a
for
pattern
me.
now.
Yes, we have. It's quite good.
Pocket watch is stuck to your hands.
Shit. I can't move either.
It's in the bowl. Shit. Shit. Faywatch.
That is a good one.
It's a real good one.
For a minute, you cannot move either.
Well, seems we're both stuck.
Okay. Well, they're young anyway, so I'm gonna go play with them.
Yeah, all right. Don't
And I think, like,
don't promise anything.
I'm probably working a spell at the same time. The Minds for Investigation.
Okay. Yeah. As you're doing that, and she realizes she's been stopped, she turns, she sees you, and she's like, Well, you seem good at these spells, but I think you messed up on your banish.
Wait, how do you know about Violet Spanish?
I know what was trying to happen, but you just sent me a couple streets over.
Wait, are you Violet?
Maybe.
Yeah, and that was basically what I was confirming is I was rolling to do an investigate and confirm that, but instead, if she's just gonna say it, I'm just getting the axe out from under my jacket and it starts glowing. So it's an enchanted weapon now.
All right.
I think you might want to explain things a little more clearly this time.
I think you might want to start running. As she says that, you hear a horrendous, kind of grunting, growling, followed by some very heavy footsteps. And from like a bit of an alley, suddenly there is a giant ogre in a brownish red growth hat starting to charge at you.
Well,
Hell, the red cap.
Hold it, wait.
wait. Shit.
Is anyone doing anything about this?
Yeah, well, hold on.
We are new to these.
Yeah. And who is the red cap? moving toward?
Probably the one with the axe.
Okay.
All right,
mean, all
and
of you.
yeah, at this point, I'm the monster slayer here. I'm kind of used to doing this shit, so it's immediately like pointing at Violet and Kit's like, get the kid away from her, and then just axe up and going in to fight this thing head on.
I want to jinx it.
Okay, are you trying to help?
I would like them to lose their hat, and if possible, because I could have up to 2, I would like for after they lose their hat, I would like for them to, I guess, trip so that their movement forward is hindered.
Okay, roll for that.
But the hat's the most important part, really.
Yeah. I'll have you attack after we see how this goes, because it.
For sure.
It doesn't go well. 7.
7's still a hit.
So I get one of those, which would be the hat.
Okay, the hat goes flying off its head. And you charge at it with your axe.
Mhm.
So roll to kick some ass.
That is going to be 8. So you and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other. Amount of harm is based on established dangers in the game. So for my axe is base 2, and I have to get into hand-to-hand range to use it.
Okay.
So like I'm right in this thing's face swinging. But I also have ancient fighting arts, so I get +1 arm for using old-fashioned weapons like the axe.
Mhm.
And I just enchanted it, so it's another +1 and it's magic. So that's 4 harm magical.
Nice.
Get wrecked.
All right.
Can I get a blood hat?
So yeah, you do 4 harm to it. So your axe just like cleaves into its arm, and it is gushing blood.
And it gets to do harm as established back to me in exchange.
Yes. As you are doing that, it did manage to take out its pole axe because it also doesn't have modern weapons, and you get 3 harm.
Okay.
Can I roll to protect?
Yes. How would you like to do that?
The way it works is I'm actually using my wall. So I'm going to essentially slide between them and throw up a wall of ice that is going to protect Ellie and put the harm toward me.
Okay.
It is a 1 harm magic barrier, but it's -1 harm and +2 armor for my wall of ice.
So
And
it takes 2 harm to smash through it.
and it's 2 armor, yeah. Or it's -1 harm +2 armor, and the base wall is 1 armor, so it's -1 harm, 3 armor.
Okay,
Alright.
so, like that sounds like the wall gets smashed down, maybe.
Well, roll to protect someone. So it's plus tough.
Can I use my gun now?
Huh?
Can I use my gun now? Can I take that out?
Yes.
Spell
you can
field.
use your
when you
gun.
I can
protect
use my gun now?
someone-
Yeah.
Your gun's in the van, though.
Oh,
Okay.
Go get your gun.
I'm gonna go get my gun.
Oh no, I'm just busy fighting this thing with an axe. I can't stop you.
Oh, it's protect somebody
Yes,
now.
now is gun time.
I was told it's gun time. I went.
Okay.
My shotgun.
7+, you protect them okay, but you'll suffer all or some of the harm they were going to get.
Yeah, so as you throw up this wall, you still manage to hit it with your axe because the wall was well placed, but the pole axe is able to get through your wall, and you will take, I'm going to say 2 harm.
Okay. And I have 2 armor against harm that is transferred to you. When you protect somebody, gain 2 armor against harm that is transferred to you. This does not stack with other forms of armor.
Okay.
So that makes it a harm 0 hit, so you're hit but no damage.
Yeah.
And there's just a explosion of it because the wall's only there for a moment. He smashed through it, but yeah, and I'm sort of squatted a little bit next to you, trying to stay out of your way.
All right.
I'm doing like that little girl, like frantic run to the van, trying to get the shotgun.
And I'm just like,
You got this. I got it.
All right. As you start to take off running, Violet is going to pull out her pocket sand. She's going to blow it at you, and as it hits you, you suddenly feel extremely nauseous.
Who's getting hit with the pocket sand?
I am.
Lydia.
I am going to protect someone.
Okay.
So roll tough.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How would you like to protect her from the pocket sand?
I'm going to use some magic to like conjure up a like strong gust of wind to just blow the pocket sand away.
Okay. At this point, your bowl is unattached from your hands.
Ooh, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So you suffer the consequences instead.
All right, cool.
Yep. So you get the gust of wind, but it brings it towards you. So you are still stuck to the ground and now vomiting.
Oh no!
Danny, are you okay? Dan, don't stop doing that, Dan.
Are you gonna be okay? Can I go get my gun?
Go.
Or the little girl frantic run again.
All right.
Dan, no, Dan, stop that.
I can't stop.
All right. So you are running. You're wrapping up your episode.
I'm projectile vomiting.
Yes, we won't get more into that. And you two are caught in a battle with a...
The angry red cap, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How bad did that axe seem to hurt it?
Quite. Yeah. It's very bloodied.
Would you like to smack it again?
I mean, that's kind of my usual modus operandi at this point, is hit it until it stops moving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so you're going to do another swing.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep trading blows with this thing for as long as I can.
All right.
That is going to be a 9. Actually, no, wait, 10. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong die.
All right. So
So-
you get an extra effect impact for that.
Yeah, and so that's going to hit for another 4 harm. And I'm actually going to say I was going for the neck, so I inflict terrible harm. It's 5.
This was supposed to be a harder battle.
It's always supposed to be a harder battle.
But as you swing, you just cleave well into its neck, and not having its hat on it, it is able to fall dead at your feet.
It's problematic when they have their hats.
Violet, who is now reverted back to her teenage form, is like, oh, poor Bone Cruncher. Well, we do seem to be at an impasse here.
I think we're renegotiating this contract.
I don't think I have the ability to do that.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
You are able to move again, and the effects are wearing off.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably when Lady comes back with the
With the
gun.
shotgun. Do I use it now?
There's a child over there, don't use it now.
Well, I'm not gonna use it on a child.
We can
Aim at Violet.
Yeah.
Aim.
we can
Hold.
Mm-hmm.
we can separate the problems.
What are you thinking?
You moved her once before.
But then the magic over the town is still fading.
Okay. Do one thing that is beyond human limitations. All right. I'm going to use the magic to sort of steal Iceman's maneuver. While there's this tense lull, inhumanly fast, I want to close the gap and basically get a hold of the child and throw myself between her and the child just to force myself in the middle and force her to let go of the child.
All right. Well, I think you are acting under pressure, so roll plus cool. You take a nice running sprint, you dive, grab the kid, do a nice like controlled roll, and Violet is on her own and Max is out of harm's way. A little freaked out over just what just happened. All of it's kind of like this child's going to have therapy in several years. But
It's on its way to worse, so.
yeah,
World's tough, kid.
just wait for 5 years.
Do I kill her now?
I would like to spend my last hold from Connect the Dots to figure out what this monster wants from this town.
Which monster?
In particular, Violet. What I'm really trying to angle at is what would satisfy their terms to repair the barrier that doesn't involve children sacrifice.
So, as you look Violet over, you can tell that while she's dressed like a fae, she is a human.
Mm-hmm.
So she is kind of like acting on orders. She's, you know, she's kind of on the wrong side of this.
Mm-hmm.
But she generally, like, she was taking care of Max. She was, you know, being very nice to him and all that.
Mm-hmm.
She's not looking to harm this child.
Mm-hmm.
She's just looking to get him out.
Mm.
So, and she's not the one who gets to say what does or does not happen here. She's not the decision maker.
Okay.
Hate to say it, but if we're going to renegotiate, then we need the person who has the contract, and I don't know that.
Yep.
That's Mondo, dude.
Chebra.
So they either lose their protection and get attacked, or we kill this one girl.
I don't think killing her is going to do anything.
Well, I mean, let her go with the fairy.
She's talking about Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No.
We send Violet to go with a letter to her masters that we need to renegotiate.
She doesn't seem that important to me.
With Oberon?
It's probably not Oberon. It's probably some lesser.
Okay. So do you want to say, we've got your prize, you need to come negotiate for it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Opinions, ma'am?
You're asking Violet.
Hmm.
I mean, if that's what you want to do.
I'd like to listen to what she's thinking.
She's like, what do they think we are barbarians? We don't kill children. That's
They're not going to
Horrible.
kill the girl.
Well, we know. She's the last one they took. Your friend is 40 years old.
no, I'm not.
Does time work different there?
I don't know. It is. It is what it is. But no.
Can any little girl be the sacrifice?
It's the town's most beloved child. That's the
Oh.
terms. Yeah.
Mm.
This is the most beloved child.
Well, it's just because you just got here. They don't know you yet.
Okay.
You're too old.
I'm too old?
See,
But I'm not old.
I was trying to de-escalate.
Listen, if you really want to do this, do you just want to come talk to my lord himself? Like, I can take you to Perry.
Ooh,
That's great.
I don't know that we want to be on their ground. How about we meet on neutral ground?
Yep.
They
I
have
can-
to come to this side of the hedge.
I can maybe go and see, but he's going to want to know what he gets in return.
We don't keep murdering his redcaps.
There's a lot of them that he could send.
We don't keep murdering them here.
We also need to fully understand what it is he's providing, so tell him he can come explain that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a barrier over the town protecting it from, what, his own mischief? Redcaps don't just wander the countryside.
No, It's the magic
yet.
that keeps everything thriving. And they've broken the contract by denying us a child. So
I don't know
now
that-
they're getting the consequences.
Does the child have to be alive?
Yes. I would leave on
Where
the
does it
dead
say that in the agreement?
I don't.
I would like to see the agreement.
Okay, you guys are going to need to successfully roll to manipulate.
And I don't know that it's really. I mean, this.
And
town-
I mean, as
what
far
is
as
the-
leverage goes, there's a very angry lady with a glowing axe right now.
Oh, good. I'm
That's already
not
covered in cat
charming.
blood.
But it's not the 1800s anymore. We've got better technology. This GMO thing that they're working on and whatnot. This town could thrive without fairy magic.
8?
What, you take that with that 8?
The fairy girl is not impressed, apparently.
So, okay, how about this? You come with me. Bring Max. You stand on one side of the fairy circle, and I'm sure that I can get my lord to appear on our side of the fairy circle, and we negotiate over that boundary.
That's fine. There has to be a holder of the contract on this side. It's not just the burden of the town in general without the town understanding what it's getting in, understanding the agreement. Who is that?
I don't have that information.
I thought we were friends.
We are friends. You could come to Fairy anytime.
Can I go to Fairy?
No.
No.
See, they won't let me.
All right, so what are you guys going to do?
Well, it seems like a few people here would be upset if I just took your head off your shoulders. So,
But if you take her head off her shoulders and this kid doesn't go to Fairy, then the town's going to keep getting attacked.
It does seem very counterproductive to do that.
I mean, but you have an interest in it, so
also, and I'm just going to look at Ellie and ask completely rhetorically, what's the job, though? How far out of scope do we need to go?
are you talking about the whole group's job or my job?
Well, we're here acting as a unit.
Well, as a unit, we're solving the issue in town. Individually, I have very clear instructions regarding the Chilton girl.
Who?
They took your name, didn't they?
Don't know what you're talking about. I'm Violet.
Violet Chilton.
No.
Mm.
I don't.
Disappeared as of midsummer 1975.
Who was around in 1975?
you.
Taken as a small child during one of these
Or-
festivals, just like you were trying to claim this one.
Or this is who maybe took Violet's name and is the holder of the contract on this side. If she's not Faye.
I think you guys are stretching. Like, no.
Okay, let's kill her.
Are they lying?
Yeah. I would like to, with my suspicious mind, is this Faye lying?
She is not. She believes everything she is saying.
She's not a fae. She's a human girl.
There's nothing worse than a Stockholm fairy.
Banish.
You did banish her.
Banish a spirit or curse.
So there's something Faye or something about her.
I would
don't
like
think you
to
can
try
changeling
and
banish a person.
Yeah,
I would like
changeling.
to banish the curse that is on Violet Chilton that is for causing her to forget her name.
All right. Roll to use magic.
That's just gonna make her sad when we kill her.
Can I don't know. I
You
don't
can
know if
help or hinder, right?
Right, I was gonna try to help, but I don't know that
Please
Dan
help.
telegraphed enough for me to. I think he's just doing it. So
Well, I mean, I start pulling up my watch and I start like
okay,
fiddling with
if
it.
I know what he's doing, then yeah,
Mhm.
I'm going to help him.
All right. How are you helping him?
I'm gonna just push my magic into what he's doing.
So
I'm just
help
gonna
only grants
empower.
+1 to a roll.
Yeah, well, that's not gonna help.
Okay, well,
You can also spend luck, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna spend a point of luck.
Oh, yes.
So that changes it to a 12. And with your help, that's a 12 plus 1.
Yay.
So I get some added benefit as I, 10 plus, magic works without issues. I choose my effect. I banish the curse from Violet Chilton,
Mhm.
so that she remembers who she is. That flower crown starts dissolving. And then what is the added benefit?
or we know for certain that we're totally off base. I don't think we are, but
I
I'm
have
with
to
you.
choose the added benefit?
It says the
The
keeper
keeper.
will offer you some added benefit.
Ah, okay. You'll get a 1 forward for the next roll you do.
Okay.
But as your combined magic wraps around Violet, her flower crown stays. It's just a flower crown.
Oh.
But you see that like joyful pixie childlike magic in her eyes just begin to fade. And her smile starts to droop. Oh. I am from here.
Well, if nothing else, we just hung up the phone on this end.
Oh. This is uncomfortable.
Do I shoot her? No.
No,
Not yet.
not yet.
I have so many questions. Please don't shoot me.
You lied about being friends. So. How much I
She
can
was
do.
under the influence of magic. It wasn't her.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
It wasn't her. It was her, but it wasn't her.
It's like when I get the tantrums.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
How much do you remember?
It's like when we have to let the ghosts out of your blood.
So much. I mean, I think everything.
Who does somebody hold the contract on this side of the?
I still don't know that now. I'm not that high up.
What do you know about it, then?
That Oberon made a deal with the town back in like 16 something something. And every 40 years, they give a child to like leave it in the forest. They go to fairy. Have a wonderful life, I would just like to add.
See, I told you we should let the little girl go.
And
Little boy go. Let them both go.
And in return, their crops thrive. Their town prospers. Everyone gets to be more or less in good health. It's lovely.
And rather than just cancel this deal, was it your decision or his to bring the red cap and start just trying to take the child by force?
Bone Crusher and I were sent in to find the child and enact revenge upon the town for failing to produce a child at midsummer.
So do we leave the town without the supernatural boons it's been prospering on? Because that doesn't really break my
I
heart.
don't particularly care if they keep their boons or not. I just want this to stop.
Yeah, as long as the red caps aren't coming back.
No, they're not.
How do you communicate with Oberon? Is it at the circle?
Yeah, I mean, you can just, like, you'd have a hard time finding it, but I can show you where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And generally you do pop in, and you travel there and you talk to him, but, well, I think I could still do that. I could still go get him.
Well,
Do you know what year it is?
Um, I guess it's like, I guess it would be 2015. Oh my God, that's so.
Do you remember this little movie called Star Wars?
I don't.
I think she would have been like 4.
Yeah, I was 4 when I left, so I.
Because they're coming out with the 7th one now. It's supposed to release this December.
I'm pretty sure that was after her time.
Oh.
all right. So
So I'm really only an expert on 2015.
the circle is the way in. Oberon has to watch the circle, right? Or
What
be
if?
aware of the circle?
Can we destroy this?
Hold on. What if we trade Oberon? You.
He already got me.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I just broke the curse. We can trade you back.
You said it was a wonderful life.
Yeah, they get 40 more years. You get a wonderful life. Seems like everyone wins.
It seems rather older than they've been taking.
Well.
She doesn't look older.
It's also sort of a take it or leave it kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the line we're going to draw in the sand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you would like to stay here. We don't want to send you someplace you
That's
don't want
true.
to go.
Your parents
But
might think it's weird though.
I don't know how you feel about staying here.
I mean, I just figured this out like 2 minutes ago, so I'll get back to you
Okay.
on that. But my parents are still here. Anyway, fairy circle. Can I move? And I will take you there,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be great.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you drop like the whole person thing?
Yeah, I dropped the whole person.
No, it was Ellie who did it.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it was
No,
you
it was
this
me.
time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she takes you out into the.
I'm going to summon just like a cloud of cold mist to get underneath the red cap and just have it come with us. We're not going to leave the body of that thing just in a courtyard
Oh,
somewhere.
I thought you were talking about my hat for a second.
No,
and
no,
I
no,
was
no.
very upset.
No.
Shouldn't be wearing that hat.
Oh, you didn't put that thing on, did you?
It's mine now.
Oh.
Creepy little child.
We are going to have to put that in the washing machine
That'll wash the blood out.
with you to get that clean. We're going to have to put both of you in the washing machine.
No, it's okay.
It's not.
We
You're gonna have to
won't
hold.
tumble you dry. We'll
Mhm.
put you out on a line to dry, but
You're gonna have to listen. You're gonna have to start working on holding your breath.
okay.
Alright,
So
so-
yeah, just
Yeah.
summon mist and just have it basically just lift it and bring it with us because we don't want the supernatural body just staying in the streets.
Maybe we'll chat with Merlin back home. We can teach you a breath holding spell.
I just want my
Oh.
hat. I earned
So-
this hat.
Don't do
I was
that.
told I could keep the
Her
hat.
tantrums will never end if you teach her a breath holding spell.
Yeah, but then she'll be quiet the whole time.
So, Violet leads you out into the forest preserve. Kind of first along a regular path, then off into off the regularly beaten path. And as you enter into this like very lovely fern moss grove type area, you don't notice it at first until she points out that there are just some rocks kind of scattered about in a general circle area, very well concealed.
To go in there?
No.
Your
You're not-
friend can though.
Yep.
I'll bring the red cap over and just drop the dead body of the red cap in the circle.
Before
That's
you do,
rather
I just stick a post-it note on its chest. It says, Oberon, we want to talk.
Now I have a hat. Ho ho ho.
As you send that through, you chill for a few minutes.
Mhm.
And then Oberon,
Just prepare.
Lord of Fairy,
Mhm.
appears. He is a rather tall, graceful, slender individual, long blonde hair, and has like a crown of, I don't know, something pointy.
Thistles.
Thistle, yeah.
Thistles, we will go with thistles. I like that.
Crown of stinging nettle.
Yeah. You called for me.
Yes, seems we need to renegotiate the deal here with this town.
I feel this was a very well-known binding contract, and they violated it. So congratulations on defeating Bone Crusher, but I am still owed that child.
Max, do you know anything about fairies needing a child every 40 years? Do you and your parents know about that?
If it is general
If
knowledge,
it's general
the child
knowledge,
would
then
know.
he would know. Do you know anything about that, Max?
No.
See? Not general knowledge. These people don't celebrate Midsummer whatever
They haven't in
anymore.
a century.
Yeah, that seems a bit of a stretch to enforce that promise, even for you.
You gotta remember, we only live like 40 years, but sometimes you're reincarnated and then your soul is stuck in this little body. And
I mean, 40 years and 1 week ago, I did get a child. I don't know what time has to do with this. We've been very consistent for centuries.
Is
Up
there a
to-
keeper of the contract on this side? A
Kind.
party to the contract?
I made it with the authorities of the town. I don't know how the town manages their affairs.
So you have a contract with property at this point.
I
I'm just letting
Don't
them talk, but I'm just like casually sharpening the axe in the background.
He is completely unbothered by that.
I understand you're still providing a service.
Well, he might
if
be
we're
getting
going
hot
to
over it.
get technical with contracts and details. However, your service no longer has a client. You don't have an entity to bill.
those people died a really long time ago.
Hmm. That is what time has to do with it.
Yes, but it is a contract that passes down from, you know,
Then who holds the contract?
whoever it was passed down to by the authorities. If they got sloppy with informing people this is what you need to do, then that's on them.
Well, again, we're back to the issue of you have no one to bill. So you can continue services at your expense if you would like. However, that seems impractical. So you should probably cut your loss and terminate the services. Your services for this contract, not only has it come to term, but are no longer wanted.
I mean, are you sure that they're no longer wanted?
Do you want to go to the fairy world, Max?
And never see your parents again?
I like my parents, but fairies are nice.
How do you know that, Max?
That's what the stories say. Like, Tinkerbell is very nice.
What do you say, Oberon? Do you have Tinkerbell over there?
I'm sure we could find someone who could fill that role for dear little Max here.
But you don't at present have Tinkerbell.
Not by that name, no.
That story seems like it's not an accurate depiction then.
And Max, I know you're young, but you get the difference between cartoons like Tinkerbell and real people, right?
No, Tinkerbell's real.
Or the show.
Do you also think Santa is real?
Of course Santa's real. He
Santa's
probably-
not real.
You'll see his lips start to tremble. You're like, what?
Santa's not real. Tinkerbell's not real.
Now,
Have you lied to me?
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
at this point,
Not right now.
Oberon, we are at an impasse.
Mhm.
So you can continue providing your service if that's what you choose. Payment is being terminated.
You could also just renegotiate with the town if they want this service of yours. But my guess is they don't. It's not really like
That's not no.
I mean, like
He-
there's no farmland
he
around
need-
here
he
anymore.
needs
Anyway,
to-
they don't need.
He needs
Him?
to leave these normal mortal
yeah, we don't want to.
living in the dark humans alone. So like I said, you can continue to provide the service if you would like. However, we are here to tell you that payment is no longer being rendered.
However, this is a payment in return for the service that was offered. I have provided 40 years of the service. They do owe me for that. So while they...
Are you saying you bill in arrears?
Yes.
So you provided 40 years of protection prior to taking the first child? That seems like an odd deal, Obi.
Suspicious mind, that seems like he was lying.
Yeah. Sounds like some fairy dusted bullshit.
No, he's being honest.
This is a very bad deal. This town is very stupid. Max, your people are
they
dumb.
made a deal with the Fae in the first place.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
So did you give them 40 years of protection before demanding the first child? Or prosperity, or whatever the hell it is you're claiming to provide?
I don't see how that's at all relevant to this.
Because that's how that works.
That's how billing in arrears
Because
works.
on this side of the rocks, that's math, and that's how it works. Over there, things are strange. I get it. In simpler terms, this is the child that you need, correct?
Correct. Listen, if you are so set on me not taking the child, I'm going to need something in return.
How about Violet?
I mean, Violet can always come back if she wants to, but
No, no, she's gonna stay here unless.
well, that's
I'm
up to
going to take 2 steps back and just stand protectively
Mhm.
next to Max. And I'm just going to open my hands and I'm going to start forming a huge ball of ice. And standing protectively next to Max, but broadcasting something very different to Oberon, just because I don't want the child picking up on it.
Mhm.
I'm going to just display that I've got this ball of ice. I'm just going to tell him Max will not, under any circumstances, go into that ring.
Then
So you can decide where to go from there.
if I don't take the child, what do I get in return? Because I am not doing this just out of the kindness of my own heart.
You could just stop doing it.
Yeah. That seems like the easiest solution for all parties.
And if you're standing on the billing and arrears thing,
Mhm.
send your accountant. I want to see your books.
I don't keep anything as mundane. It's built on promises and words kept.
Well, then, it's your word versus the reality of it. And essentially, you're all full of shit. So it doesn't hold a lot of weight.
Roll to manipulate someone.
That's not going to go. 9, so 8. I'm not very
Hold
charming.
on. I'm going to help you out because I'm just like counting all the times
have
this
what?
Fae is lying.
I do. Yeah, I could burn a point of luck.
The Fae is
I
not
haven't
lying.
used any, so
Mm.
yeah, I'll burn a point of luck and just
Oh, even better. Never
yeah.
mind.
Make it a
Uh,
12.
where am I? Yeah,
Yeah.
make it a 12.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she liked that.
Yeah. I'm not buying what you're selling, so show proof or shut up. Show your math. Take your bubble. Get back through the hedge.
I suppose I have caused enough chaos upon them. So, very well. We will leave this town safe from now moving forward over this issue. So, I won't be sending any more storms their way or whatever.
And no more of the bloody hat guys.
Oh, I mean, there's plenty of them to go around, but not for this 40-year contract, which is now null and void.
Very good.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Make-
Scrape.
Yeah, make it a binding agreement, Dan. Shake his hand.
You gotta
I'm gonna
spit.
stand there with the ball of ice. Shake his hand.
I shake his hand.
I'm kidding. Don't go in the ring. What are you doing?
I don't step foot over that ring.
Hand, though.
Yeah, hand's fine.
You
You gotta
shake
step
it,
over
the
it.
raw coin.
Mhm.
All right, well, Violet, enjoy the mortal realm, and he'll just disappear back.
Mm.
Just start with the ice ball.
Well, the rest of you are kind of dealing with that, and Max is going to look at Violet. It's like, so, you lost a lot of time.
Apparently so.
We can be best friends now.
You could go to your. You
Well-
could go back to your parents,
You could, though.
or
They're not going to. I think they're going to have a hard time believing you when you've maybe aged 10 years and 40.
we do
I sup-
know some people.
I was going to say, you could go back if you choose. It seems like you're invited to cross at your leisure.
I don't
If you
know
want
that I
to
would
try
expect
keeping
them to
one
be
foot on
kind.
this side, though, you can come with us. We know some people, they have dealt with this sort of thing before, could help you get back on your feet.
You ever been to New York before, kid? 'Cause let me tell you, Wizards up in the Bronx. Oh my God, the food is to die for.
Um,
And just bear in mind, you were of value to him before. You're not now. Going back will not be the way you remember it. He has no reason to be nice now.
I suppose.
Now, you haven't aged much, but you've been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not going to talk to you like you're a 15-year-old, because you can't be.
I'm like, what, 43?
Well,
Really old.
probably shouldn't
It's
tell
older than
people
me.
like her that anyway, but
Are my parents even like still around, or
Haven't had
like?
a chance to look into them yet.
Mhm.
Okay.
we can find out. You will turn their world upside down if they see you, though.
It's up to you.
If they know who you are.
It's up to you, though.
Mhm.
And we can help you with all of that. But where you've been, you don't have a place in either world right now. And
I
we're
think
willing to do what we can to help facilitate your existence from here on out.
I would like to see my parents again and try and give that a go.
I pull out one of my business cards and I just hand it to her, and I'm like, just in case it doesn't go well.
Thanks. I'll give you a call if needed.
Wait, your parents would be like a million if you're 43.
Probably 60s or 70s.
Oh, you
Mhm.
math classes. She needs more math homework.
You're not.
I don't
wrong.
take any classes. I don't even know how to read.
That's not true.
All right.
We're quite aware you can read, Lydia.
So, since we are quite over time, Violet is actually able to reunite very well with her parents. They are shocked and take some disbelief, but eventually they're like, yes, that is indeed our child. It is a warm, lovely reunion.
And if they gave the child and knew what was going on, maybe.
Just saying, she could have been. I know a whole cult of wizards, man.
And yeah, you guys are able to move on to your next adventure, knowing that this town is, at least for now, quite safe.
And my bosses are pissed off.
And that too.
Well, unless there was something else, some other reason to kill the kid.
They were quite
We-
specific, but they're often somewhat narrow-minded.
But if we broke the contract and got him completely away from the town,
There's an element of that, yes. I'm sure it'll be shorter, but I still went against their orders.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us this evening, sticking with us to this point, and we will hopefully see you next week back for our regularly scheduled program, assuming immune systems keep going. So, have a wonderful night. Bye.
bye everybody.